All right, gamers, hello and welcome to the PlusFramesGG Horse Reaction Cup Umamusume Pretty Derby Global Tournament Series Extravaganza. Why are we here? To race horses. That's why we're here. What's up? What's cracking? My name is Kraken Atkins. Joining me on the mic is the one and the only Jesu. Can't think of anybody else I'd want to do this with. The man, the myth, and the legend. How are you doing today, man?
Dude, I'm super excited to be here. Like, when you guys reached out and you were like, Jitsu, do you want to do commentary for an Umamusume, like, global launch Pretty Derby bracket? I was like, the first thing that came to my mind, you know the domino effect meme where it's like, oh, Paul Lee at PlusFramesGG reaches out and asks if I want to do Party Dash commentary. And then on the final domino, it's, hey, we got capped out in 12 hours for a 3v3 Uma Global tournament to run on this fine Saturday afternoon with my GOAT Kraken Atkins. I mean, like, I was super excited, and I am super excited to see the action. So hopefully we'll find number one out of these 81 players that we got today.
Absolutely, yes. It's great. Also, this is not the only stream that's live, so we have made a bunch of accommodations that, like, I don't quote me on this, but I think like just about every, if not every, match is being streamed. So there's like multi-streams going on. Be sure to check out all the action. It's gonna be great. We will be getting our first stream match together here shortly. It is going to be E30, Lupin X, and May. Just to kind of give everybody a breakdown of what's going on, like the format and everything, right? So it's 3 trainers, right? 3 trainers per room. Each of those trainers are going to pick 3 Umas to go off into a race. Now, the only things that are constant about these races is that it's long distance, and turf. Otherwise, everything is random. If your mood is awful, skill issue. If you have like a track you did not want, skill issue. You know, that is what's going on here. So it's gonna be really interesting. Like, I've been seeing a lot of people's like strategizing of like who they want to put in and like different like strats that they want to run in terms of like debuffers and such. So I don't know what's gonna reign supreme, but I can't wait to see it all come to fruition.
Yeah, you guys let us know, because I know there are also items in the game, obviously, that you can get through the daily shops as well. So the Pleasing Parfait, right, is one of those items that can make it so your Umamusume don't get affected by, you know, rolling a bad mood. But I actually don't know if that works in room matches. So you guys can fact check us over here to see if that's actually something that's going to be helpful, or if you really just got to deal with the luck of the draw.
There it is. But I say we jump straight into it. I want to get these gamers in the room, but I can't get them in the room until we determine which track that they're going to be participating in. So, in order to do so, we gotta spin the wheel.
Yeah, let's see. I was told stories about this wheel, but not given any info on it before, so I'm looking over on the stream as well. Also, we mentioned that there were other streams going on. If you guys see the little banner on top of the chat that says shared chat, you can actually hover over, mouse over any of those different streams, and you can see all the other races that are going on at the same time.
There it is.
What is this wheel, man?
I thought you might be a fan of this.
No way, man.
Let's see what we got here. We got all the long distance tracks available here. E30, Lupin, and May will be running on. Oh, make sure you have sound up for this, Jason, as well. This is a work of art, by the way.
Oh my god, there's no way. All right, I'm turning sound on.
Ooh, okay, Nakayama 3600? Nakayama 3600 it is. All right, gamers, let me go ahead and get that room set up for y'all.
SFX is killing me. There was like a slight delay. I was like, oh, okay, what's gonna happen at the end? Like, I like the little drum roll, and then I hear the whinny of the AI generated horse. I'm like, there's no way. That's so sick.
Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna get these gamers' rooms together here. Just give me one moment. So, and of course, for spectating purposes, my G rank Haru is ready to go.
Yeah, so hopefully you guys are excited. Like we mentioned before, right? There are different kind of formats that you can have for Uma PvP. Today we're going to be doing 3v3. Tomorrow, Bestie and Slot is doing 1v1. So kind of like Atkins alluded to earlier, you have a couple other Uma slots, like obviously the winner of the race is whoever's, any one of their Umas gets first place. So if you have one or two of your characters dedicated to debuffing a certain part of the race, or just even blocking out like, oh man, I really just want to crowd up the front runners real quick, so my late surger or my end closer has like a lot of room to just go around on the outside. There's a lot of strategizing going on. I'm curious to see what builds these gamers got.
Indeed. All right, I have the room created. I'm going and sending these gamers the room code. I should be able to switch scenes soon. So yeah, are there, I know that you are, I mean, to me, you're John Umamusume. Okay, I'm just gonna make that, I'm just gonna, make that assertion right now. If not for you, Jsu, I don't know if this event happens or if I'm here or if I play this game. So like, I'm gonna say that. Okay. But in terms of the landscape here and your general knowledge of like the game and some of the favorites, are there any Umas, like any particular horses that you're expecting to see within this race, like some of those long distance runners?
So I will say I did a little bit of research with the community, because there's a lot of folks who have been playing on the JP version for a little bit and then waiting for global to drop, right? So they kind of have a little bit of knowledge of like how the meta has shaped up over time, right? And one of the first things that someone told me was there are actually a lot of folks that are just playing with their favorite horses despite their aptitudes. And I was like, wait, I'm curious, right? Because when you boot up, you see the stats for every one of the horses. Obviously, some of them are better at miles, some of them are better at medium, a different kind of style, et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, yes, but depending on your inherits, if you have enough time and if you have, a good enough kind of bloodline, right? You're good enough sparks, you can make any Uma work. But we've only had like a few weeks in global, so we'll see how strong the Oshi heart is going to be for some of these races, or if we're going to see a lot of the really strong ones that kind of come with good long distance skills. I'm thinking Super Creek, I'm thinking Major McQueen, I'm thinking Gold Ship as well, who are kind of already statted out from the beginning for these long distance races.
Indeed. All these gamers are predetermined, ready to go. They already have their horses locked in. I'm going to get a final confirmation before we start here just to make sure. Yeah. Checking for confirmation. Are y'all ready to roll? Which actually don't roll. It would probably be smart to say for that Kita-san Black Baiter coming up, but double entendre.
That's the only thing I've been seeing on my well, actually, I've been seeing a lot of, Uma global posting, let's be fair. But like half of it is, guys, I don't know if I can hold on strong. The robot Uma looks so cool. I don't think I can save crystals for Kita-san Black like this. And everyone's like, you should save, but worst case scenario, you could always borrow it from somebody else who has an MLP. We'll see what happens.
For y'all's sake, the stream is running on my account. I hope that it doesn't show how many carrots I have. I'm going to give like Wells or really sweaty competitive players a heart attack based off recent decisions. We'll talk about it later. But it looks like these gamers are giving me the okay, so I'm going to hit okay. And we should be jumping in shortly here. It's giving me the countdown.
Yeah, let's see it booting up soon. We got our little countdown going on here. Our first match once again.
I think we're on and popping. There it is.
All your carrots on Biwa Hayahide. Are you a Biwa Hayahide fan, Atkins? I feel like I haven't asked you who your favorite Uma is.
That big-headed horse is my Oshi. I'm sorry. Like
That's big. Her and her 5-head are my favorite horse in the game. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, big-headed Biwa like has a hold on me, and by a hold I mean a hold on my wallet. All my carrots are gone. I have 10 days in order to get the character and 40 pulls left to spark. So that is that's the timeline that I'm living in right now. That's why I can't compete with y'all. It wouldn't be a competition because true. My support cards are trash.
That's But you're doing it for the love of the game. I understand. But we got these gamers pulling up here. Lupin, Red E30, and Mei Imori. There we go for our first one. And yes, we do have the Urara spectator over here on the G rank, just to make sure that Atkins doesn't accidentally win and mess up the bracket. Such is the case with FGC TOs so often.
Yeah, I mean, I'm running the Urara spectator, but Lupin is running a Urara like legit. Like there's an actual Haru in here. Like
interesting, right? So we talked about this a little bit earlier. It could be a debuff Haru Urara, or that could be their favorite, and they've been, training up Sparks and Inherits to try and get her to do well on the turf here. Like you said, we're moving on. We had that randomly selected race course are we on again? Are we on Nakayama?
Nakayama Turf.
Yes,
Yeah, there we go.
Turf, 3,600. So it's the longest of the long races here for our first match.
Indeed, indeed. Just realized I have to edit the names here. Hold up. Got E30, and they're off.
Yeah, so it is going to be a little bit difficult to tell whose horse exactly is whose, but we got a couple of Oguris trying to vie for position as we make our way out of the starting gates. Not too many late starts either, so at least not a bunch of panic on the side of these gamers so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, kind of that Grass Runner hanging behind the Haru's, surprisingly. So maybe a couple of debuff strats coming in, maybe just a super late chase there. We'll have to see.
Oh my god, I like how we have to get like the separate camera angle as well just to see all of the racers. There's a bit of a difference when we got the G-Rank Urara in the back here.
Right?
So
she's trying her hardest. She's trying her hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like Oguri Cap is leading the pack at the moment from what I could tell within the top. We are approaching the halfway point here. Yeah,
Yep.
There's that Oguri. Big gap distance between the Tokai Teo, Nice Nature following behind, and TM Apro. I know that's a lot of people's goats.
Mm-hmm. Special week, Oguri Cap once again, and Mayano Top Gun right in paces with Oguri Cap. Like you said, Grass Wonder kind of hanging out in the back a little bit, kind of that late surger and closer position, which I think we're a little bit more familiar with seeing from Oguri Cap. So, you know, Chad is saying it as well. A little bit surprising to see her, you know, going for this front running kind of position, but let's see how it works out.
Yeah, I just did my Oguri Cap run today, and like she ended up being a late beast, so it is kind of jarring seeing her with this big old like front leading strategy. I'm really curious about how that Oguri is built.
Yeah, and I know from the chat as well, right? If there are no front runners, then pace chasers, you know, by default, right? Their position is good. No, it just panned over. She's doing her best.
Oh
She's doing
my
her best. No,
god,
stop.
bro!
Change the camera. Change the camera.
My heart, bro.
Oh my god, you see like the distance in between just scrolling at the top as well, but we're kind of coming into the later half. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of swinging maestros as we come around this corner. So that is, you guys have definitely seen this skill before, right? It's the Super Creek support guard skill that gives you quite a bit of stamina back as you go into one of these corners. So, you know, wit build as well to make sure that it's consistent on one of the strongest skills in the game. Very important here as we head into our final third.
Here it is. It all comes down to this. This is where a lot of things tend to pop off, right? You see what's those late game skills, home stretch haste, velocity on the last spurt. Here it is. I can win sometimes, right? Tokai Teo, look at that. The huge spurt boost going to pass the Oguri Cap. I saved it all for this moment.
Speed, the acceleration going crazy as we head around this final corner, finally seeing some debuffs coming out here.
Yo, when I find out my goat is washed, where did all this come from? Huge links from the Tokai Teo. Holy gap. Literally.
This is actually like Tokai Teo, like post-retirement Artie Makinen going on right now. They said she was washed. They said she couldn't do it. We were thinking that Oguri Cap frontrunner was going to keep the lead the entire time. But of course, it's that final spurt that matters the most, where you can really make the most of your top speed distance. Tokai Teo, 10 legs. It's a full distance away. There is no chance for any of these horses to catch up. She's going straight to the finish line, baby, in a #1.
Too little, too late, but also never late enough for a huge win on the Tokai Teo. The question is, who horse that is? Whose horse is that? We're gonna find out real quick here on the leaderboards. Wait, are we still waiting for the? Oh no!
Oh my god, we're still waiting for the Haru. Wait, I'm actually curious how long it's gonna take. No, let the moment rock.
For this one specifically, I'm going to let the moment rock and not fast forward to her. There she is. Let's go, Haru. Let's go, Haru.
Let's go.
Insane.
Yeah. Oh my god, it really was a distance between first and second place too. It was an incredible. I would not be surprised if that nice nature debuffer was on the side of that Tokai Teo, but I swear I thought I saw them get caught in the purple aura as well. So as we scroll up, we'll find out who's who.
Yeah, Lupin having the bottom two, and that was one of the Oguri Caps of the front runners. But no, it was E30's Tokai Teo that was able to get the job done. The Grass Wonder was hanging near the back. I'm not sure if she had some debuff stuff going on. No, actually, this was just a straight up Grass Wonder, but man, that was crazy. A B rank Tokai Teo beating out all of these A ranks, all of these B pluses. It's not about the letter grade. It's about my training and my pedigree. That Tokai Teo, that was ridiculous.
That's insane. Like, I was building up the story between Oguri Cap and Tokai Teo only to realize that they were both E30s anyway. There was another Ogre cap, you know, coming up right behind, but dude, Tokai just like spurted out of that last stretch there. That was insane. Oh yeah, let's check Tokai stats real quick while we have it up.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So some swinging maestro, sky high tail step on the level 3. Okay. What caused all that? Was it a triumphant pulse? Ability to break out the patch? Oh hell yeah! No, that I think triumphant pulse had a big play in that. Home stretch haste, obviously last spurt. That's a classic. Nimble navigator potentially. Yeah, just all these last spurt late race type of skills was what allowed for her to really break out at the end there. So insane.
Yeah. I mean, we did, you know, depending on your build, we did kind of high roll or low roll Nakayama turf for the first one, which, you know, long, if I'm not mistaken, right? Anywhere above 2,400 meters. So depending on how you actually built out your stamina or how many kind of long racers you have, if you don't have someone that's equipped for that long distance, like you're kind of just riding the stamina threshold for 2,400, 2,800, something like that, when you're going to these maximum long distance races, like it's very easy for your racers to just fall to the back and not have any energy by the time you make it to that final straightaway.
Absolutely, absolutely. But that was already this is gonna be a good one, man. The first race already bringing that much excitement. An unexpected Haru pick, looking like a clean slate Oguri front running strategy that wasn't a front running strategy. There's just no front runners, and the Tokai tail coming out from the back. You never know what to expect with these races. But yeah, E30 exactly. Moving forward.
Yeah, I'm curious. So we have a little spreadsheet on our end. I think this is a pretty difficult kind of tournament to organize within the constraints of Start.gg because we have 3 in each pod that are kind of making it out through various phases, which is also why we have the 81 player cap. We needed something, since this is 3v3v3, that was evenly divisible by 9. And we were talking about this a little bit earlier, and Atkins was like, yeah, we were thinking about the cap over at PlusFramesGG, and we were like, we could do 81, or we could do, you know, 293 or something like that. Whatever the math is, right? 243 or something like that. And we were like, maybe for the first one, we'll keep it a little bit smaller and see how things go. And then, you know, if there's enough demand for it, we can go for the big 200.
Right. Yeah, you know, I listen, Chad, don't quote me on this. I think it would be fair to say that, you know, we're having a lot of fun with the Umamusume at the moment. This event is quite, you know, poggers, as the kids say. We got 126 people in the chat joining us for some horse racing on a Saturday afternoon. Or maybe it's a Saturday evening or morning for you. There's literally people from all over the world that are within this bracket. Belgium, United States, Canada, Brazil, Chile, Argentina, South Africa. I'm missing a ton. Indonesia, like there's like, it's literally a worldwide bracket. So like,
that's big.
Yeah, straight up. Shout out to all of you that are joining. One thing that I do want to say that I didn't mention at the top of the stream, there is actually a match Reno for this chaotic bracket. Someone's winning money for this, Jisoo.
Yo?
And like literally when I say someone, I mean someone. It's not a top 3 payout, it's a top 1 payout.
It's top one.
Yeah, highest placing racer will get a minimum $50 pot bonus. There are match Reno codes. Last time I checked, there's about 35 left. Don't quote me on it, but if you have some free time right now, if you want to pull that up, hit the light blue claim code button. That's going to donate a free 25 cents to the pot. We want to get all those codes utilized before the end of the stream. And if you want to do a direct contribution to just line the pockets of somebody's future Kita-san Black, you could do that if you'd like. So
yeah, and I would imagine, you know, tuning in for Umamusume PvP, us fighting game players, we're like used to the whole Matcherino, you know, song and dance, right? Okay, you go in and you give them free 25 cents. For those of you who are kind of just tuning in, you're like, oh, okay, I don't really see Matcherino super often. It is very easy. You just click the link over there in the chat. In the top right, there's going to be a button that says login. You can literally log in with whatever social media you have, whether it's Twitter, Twitch. I think for a while they had like Reddit and Dig. So, you know, any of your social media, you can log in. And there's a little button on the right side that says claim coupon. So at no cost to yourselves, you are putting a free 25 cents into the pot for these gamers who are giving you such amazing Umamusume PvP action on this fine Saturday afternoon. But I do like that you mentioned that we're able to have kind of this, you know, Uma international competition because, you know, once we load up, right, it's not a matter of, oh, how is our connection to each other? the horses, you know, do their thing. They're loaded into the server and there's no worry about connection issues between them, even if they're literally across the globe. So I'm just saying, if we see, you know, some international competition as we head later and later, semifinals, finals even, I think that storyline would write itself. It's so good.
We don't need rollback. We just need rolling forward through the finish line, finishing first. That's all that matters at the end of the day. As, yeah, another cool thing about this bracket, all the matches are kind of predetermined. So we're going to log back in here with our next one that we have coming up. It will be Sheepy, Zenosuke, and Ice Cream Cat. Of course, I can't get these gamers in the lobby until we've... I don't know what to name this will, Jsu. Do you want to name this will? I feel like it's just a picture's worth 1,000 words. Like,
okay, so I did not know before the stream that this was the image you were going to use for the wheel, but the name of this sticker in the original Discord that it was made in is Spinoy Week. So special week and the word Pinoy. I think it would be really funny if this was called like the SPIN Oi Week. So she is spinning, she's Pinoy, and she's special week. I think that's what we got to go with.
This guy is the best. I love it. The Spinoy will spin. Oh my god, that's incredible.
It just writes itself, man.
For real. Well, let's get spinning on the Spinoy wheel and see where these gamers are going to be racing. Tokyo 3400? Tokyo 3400 it is. All right.
Damn, so these are pretty long races to start things off, at least on, you know, the stream side. Of course, like we mentioned earlier, we have a shared chat with a bunch of other channels that are streaming the rest of the matches. So you guys don't have to miss any of the Umamusume action. You can even have like the, you know, the XQC style 4 monitors, dog cam, cat cam, horse cam, you know, with all the Uma action that you got going on. I think there are a bunch of like multi-viewers for Twitch as well if you just want to, you know, see what races are going on at any given time. But yeah, as far as our stream, you know, we've had the highest or the longest distance so far, and like pretty close to that as well with the 3400. So hopefully you guys have that stamina trained up.
Absolutely. Here, I'm just getting these gamers coordinated here. Sheepy, Zenosuke, and Ice Cream Cat. Okay, so Sheepy, Zenosuke, Ice Cream Cat. Got the lobby code. And they should be joining here shortly. Cool. Yeah, Oguri Cap, because I was looking through my horses today and trying to figure out, like, if I were to play, who would I be running, right? I have a pretty good bourbon that's, like, you know, good to go for this. I have a special week that I probably should play in this, but I'm a Goo Goo baby, so I'll play Super Creek instead. And my last one is, as I mentioned, my Oguri Cap. I was just like, I think she would be perfect for this, and she ended up being one of my best horses naturally after training. So I feel like that's someone we're going to see a lot of. I see some people joining right now, and Oguri Cap has already showed up. It was literally the first horse that was picked, but I don't know, man. There's a lot of sleepers out there. I did not expect Tokai to go that far.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we can even kind of scroll through it as we're waiting in this room match. So Ice Cream Cat has pulled up. I see Oguri Cap. I see Rice Shower. I see Simbly Rudolph. I'm kind of wondering who the like hyper carry out of these is going to be, or if we're just going with, okay, these are 3 horses that I have equipped for long, and they're, you know, in different strategies, and I'm just going to see which one of them like does the best. Like no debuffs required. Yeah,
absolutely. While we're waiting, I can't show the like room because the room code is there and I wanted to get hijacked, but we could actually like look through the horses while these people. Oh my gosh, Zenosuke is a gamer. Who are these 3A ranks? The triple A. Holy Dance Revolution. Who is this?
Wait, that's sick. This is the first winning ticket we've seen as well. So I've been chatting with FGC friends who are now getting into Uma now that Global has dropped. And a lot of them have been like, oh, so-and-so is my favorite horse. That horse is my favorite. I have been seeing, you know, I haven't been seeing enough love for winning ticket aside from like a few friends who have gotten into it. So I'm happy to see her up here, right? Like, especially when you guys, you know, watch a little bit more of the anime, especially when more main story episodes come out, right? Because she has her own chapter as well. I think you will quite like this Derby horse.
Indeed. There are some unique picks here. I am really looking forward to seeing how this one works. The AAA jump scare was wild. I'm just like...
That's what I'm saying. I got terrified. I think all of our gamers are here now, so we're not going to get a preview on the last gamer in the lobby, but we'll see that in just a sec.
All right. I got... wait, I'm waiting confirmation from Cat, I think. Let's see. Zenosia is ready to go. Sheepy's ready to go. Just want to make sure that Cat is good before we get... Cool! Cat's ready to go. Let's get this show on the road here.
Let's do it.
All right, got our 7-second countdown. Yeah, winning ticket, an opera, rice shower. So there's 2 rice showers within this. Oh, man. Y'all sweaty. That's all I gotta say. Y'all came here to play.
Train up for sure, yeah.
All right. Oh, let me make sure I got the names updated here as well. So we got Zen, Sheepy, and Cat.
Just saying, this game is hell for JP fans because none of my Ochis are in the game yet. I'm waiting on Buena Vista, who also is not in the JP side yet. I'm waiting for Espar City. I'm waiting for Viblos. Like, it's going to be a little while for me, too. I understand, guys.
All right, here we go. So here's the spread. So the AAA gamer, I can't remember who it was, actually. It doesn't show the grades here.
That was Zen, right?
I think it was Zen, actually. Yeah, they have the winning ticket, the Oguri Cap, and the Grass Wonder. I mean, but as we saw from the previous race, grade does not mean anything. There's A's, B pluses, and all things all around. And there was a B horse that ended up winning the race because they ended up playing True Strength. So, from what I was able to briefly look over through these 3 players, they're all gamers. Like, they all have like some very equipped and ready to go horses for this event. So this is going to be an interesting one. A lot of pace chasers, no fronts anywhere. Like, we didn't really see any like front runners within the previous race either, so.
Yeah, I think in a long distance format, it's a little bit scary because we think about the stamina efficiency of the certain styles, right? Obviously, front runner, depending on, you're trying to sync it up with certain skills and obviously, you know, just get that early lead. But front runner and pace chaser, I think, you know, on the more inefficient side for stamina. I'm not sure how that shakes up when there are no front runners actually like in the race, but late surger and closer, you're kind of biding your time, right? And especially on these races, again, we had 3600 into 3400. It's going to be a long racetrack as we head into our next match.
All these variables, this Uma stuff is serious. Okay, so since there's a lot of pace chasing strategy, a lot of them kind of staying within the pack, you know, we're not going to really be expecting to see much variance, I feel, until like literally the bottom leg of the race. It is the right shard that takes out mostly initially endurance kind of getting reduced as that symbolize kind of not too far behind.
All right, Miss Rudolph just chilling here. So she, you know, she could be a pace chaser. She could be a late surger. Again, it's kind of shifted because we have none of these front runners, but still so early on into the race as we pass by the big oak tree.
There it is, there it is. Yeah, still kind of staying within that pack. Nothing, what we saw within the previous race, I think there's potentially some debuffing or just like super late chasers that were actually hanging around with Haru. That's kind of less of the case here. As we see a little bit more of that overlap, that right shower still taking, but we see some skills kick in here. Okay, breath of fresh air, rushing gale.
Yep, a little velocity on the grass, a little bit more stamina on the Tachyon, and the cut to Urara gets me every time, man.
Look at her go.
Look at the top. You can see the, you know, quite a distance between our G-rank Urara.
All right, nearing the halfway
point. Back up
point.
in front, right shower still chilling.
Indeed, indeed. Okay, so we see some swinging Maestro coming into the equation here. Yeah, and this is where we could expect to see a lot of skills kind of pick up, right? This is essentially where like the pace chaser, like, sweet spot is, so potentially some shakeups happening here. The people are kind of like breaking out from the pack in a sense. We're seeing a lot more separation.
Yeah, we've kind of split out a decent amount, especially on that previous corner. Again, Rice Shower is still chilling in the front here. Simply Rudolph, Ogre Cap, Agnes Tachyon, and another Rice Shower coming up right behind. TM Opera O kind of bringing up that, you know, pace chaser-esque area. And then in the back, we got Winning Ticket, Ogre Cap, and Grass Wonder as well.
All right, nearing the 2/3 waypoint. There are a couple of late runners within here as well. I think things can shape up pretty rapidly. That's something that we saw within the previous race of where we saw a strategy of somebody just like kind of well in the front and then out of nowhere, somebody pulling out from the back. A little bit more of a narrow advantage here. As you see, there's a great cat taking out of nowhere.
Damn, and a big velocity down. That hit like half of the racers here, especially in that backpack. So now Ogre Cap trying to catch up with the Rice Shower. Should be inching it out here. Finally taking up the lead, but it's a velocity up on the speed star from Rice Shower. She is not giving up the lead just yet as we finally head into this last straightaway in the final corner.
Dude, it's neck and neck, actually. I don't know. The Ogre Cap is trying to make it happen, but she's holding on to the front. Even though she's not a front runner, just literally built for this race. It's gonna be like a photo finish at this point. Velocity up, that might be exactly what you need in order to make it happen.
Ooh, right shower, Ogre cap. I can barely tell from this camera angle, but the velocity up once again, even past the speed, so we still have a little bit more left in the tank.
My!
Ogre cap is still coming up. Right shower, overtaken. Ogre cap should take it with a clean first place.
Man, oh man, that was down to the wire, but it is the Ogre cap that was able to move forward. The question is whose horse this is. It looks like it's Zen's. Zen's Ogre cap, able to take it.
Damn, the triple A's pulling up here. But Cat, with both the second and the third place, quite close. But, you know, that extra velocity in that last sprint was, you know, what we needed here to take that W.
Indeed, indeed. I'm curious about these A-rank horses that Zen brought to the table. Are they debuffers? They might be debuffers.
I see. Okay.
That was the play. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, right? Is the winning ticket also a debuffer, or? Yes, hesitant pace chasers.
She has one of the... Oh, okay, okay. So even if the skills overlap, right? Again, there's kind of this random RNG element to if the skills actually proc, depending on, you know, how high you've built up your wit. So having some of them, you know, overlapping or stacking, it's not a bad idea if you're running both of those debuffers, right? And we saw that, you know, going into that last spurt, that final corner as well, where half of the race just ended up getting debuffed and Ogre just sprinted out from the pack.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, you're just kind of like increasing your likelihood that those debuffs will proc if you're willing to allow for the slots to occupy that, right? So, ends up working out here. A tight one. I mean, the Rice Shower really looked like... I think it just might have been a matter of just essentially who got the better skill procs at the end of the day. Because, like, right within that end, it looked like Rice Shower could take the W. I think it was just essentially Zen got the better luck of the draw within, like, the procs, the mood, all the different factors and everything, so...
Exactly. I think Cat's Rice Shower was able to avoid the debuff, if I'm not mistaken, because ended up being in the front. Again, right? Even as a pace chaser, if there's no front runners, you end up taking that front runner spot. And we saw the hesitant pace chasers, you know, as a debuff on both of those debuffers. But because everything was shifted one back, now your late surgers are essentially those pace chasers, right? And vulnerable to some of those debuffs. So funny how these things work out in the long distance races.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just like that, we are a third of the way through our round one races. So there's at least 27 gamers who have been advanced forward here. Uma races are pretty fast. Like, even though we're doing like the long distance version of these races, like they fly by pretty quickly. So we will, you know, probably within, like, I'd say about an hour or so, maybe a little bit less, give or take, just depends, be able to move on into our phase 2. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump into our next match coming up here shortly. I do have Gator, SFTY, and Dabro. I think Dabro is one of the Indonesia representatives, if I'm not mistaken. So they got in via OK. So as Jason noted, this tournament capped out in like a half of a day. It was ridiculous. The demand was insane. So much so that I was like, okay, I ran a couple of tournaments in my lifetime. I don't know if all 81 of these people are going to show up. So I am going to create a wait list so where people can just like join if people DQ. I don't want to run like, you know, this 81 person event with like 50 people in NPCs. No, let's not do that. Right. So what ended up happening is that around like 20 or so people were in the wait list. They all got invited to the bracket based off the DQs, right? And so Dabro is one of those people who was on the wait list. They were active in chat pretty much all morning long. Morning for us. Yeah. I think it's like 4 a.m. over there for them, but they were locked in. They were just like, yo, if there's an opportunity, I am playing. And now they're here. And they get to be on stream, which is super cool.
Yeah, it's cool to see, again, because, you know, we don't have these connection requirements like we do in the FGC. Oh, man, I'm sorry you can't join our tournament. Like, we're region locked to make sure all the connections are all good. Nah, Umamusume, as long as you have your horses trained up and you can respond to a TO pinging you in Discord, harder than you might think, as it turns out, you know, you are free to go. You are welcome to the races. So it's been really cool. You know, we saw Cat in the previous match as well. I think they also reached out and were like, oh, hey, you know, is there a region lock for this, or are we able to compete as well? And then thankfully the PlusFramesGG folks telling them immediately, nope, you are good to go. Just sign up on the start.gg and you have your spot reserved. So it's cool to see the oomph around here.
Absolutely. Don't mind me. I'm just pinging these gamers to let them know they're about to be on stream. Let's see. Y'all will be next on stream.
Nice.
Cool.
Shout out to the SEA bros out there. Fun story from Cat in the chat. I finished building that rice shower after the tournament starting out. That's crazy.
What?
You did the room match and you were like, okay, I gotta grind up before the last one. That's pretty sick.
The mid-tourney training session. Just like that's like the equivalent. I know that we have a lot of FGC and Umamusume overlap within this tournament naturally. But that's like the equivalent of like being within your pools and you see some tech posted on Twitter and you just like learn it and then just do it within your next like round 2 match or something like.
Actually, yeah.
Insane.
You're like fighting with the venue Wi-Fi or the venue signal with like 200 other people trying to tweet after their salt post, and you're like, guys, I need you to put your phones down and walk outside. Not because I care about your mental well-being, but because I need extra signal to look through, you know, the Cami hashtag and see what new setup I can do to try and make it in the top 64. So very similar overlap here.
Indeed, indeed. Well, we have the Spinoy wheel ready to go. Let's see where these gamers are going to be racing. Kyoto 3000. Okay.
They said, please God, under 3,000. Well, we were one off. We were really close. And by really close, I mean, out of the 3 distances that we've spun on this wheel so far, every one of them on stream has been 3,000 or longer. So again, hopefully you guys have fulfilled your stamina requirements.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just, and that's why, you know, training multiple Umas up to be adaptive to whatever gets rolled is great. Obviously, that requires like time commitment, a little bit of luck, a lot of career runs, a lot of planning, the proper Umas in the first place. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into this for being prepared for an event like this, where there are so many random factors. So we'll see. I'm sorry that we couldn't get you anything below 3,000, but I believe, so long as you believe in your horses, amazing things can happen. So
Exactly. You got to have faith as a trainer. That's how these things go. And also, you know, for those of you kind of just tuning in who haven't really seen a lot of, you know, Umamusume team trials or PvP stuff, this is something I learned very recently. So the stats that you have in training mode, right, like in the career mode, are actually inflated by about 400, which theoretically would not make any difference in PvP, because you're thinking, oh, okay, if they are, you know, 400 speed less than what they have in training mode, like, why does it matter, right? Because it's going to even out across all of these Umas. But then you think about stamina, right? Where having more stamina is not a good thing past the threshold of the distance that you're running, right? So that is extra stats that could be going over to speed if you have too much. But if you have too little, right, you have enough to survive, you know, the URA finals within the story mode. But then you go to PvP, you don't have that, you know, in single player mode 400 stat buff. And all of a sudden your Uma is like, you know, falling in the last stretch. You're like, wait, what's going on? They were killing it in every one of their races in career mode. So what's going on? You know, I'm sure by the time we're getting to, you know, what is this? This is like semifinals or maybe 1 round out from it at this point, Atkins. So I'm sure they already know that by now, making it this far. But, you know, maybe earlier on in the pools, they're like, wait, my Uma was killing it before. What happened?
Right. No, so we are still technically in pools. We have like 2 more, including this one. So it'll be this match and then another match that will be the end of pools on stream, and then we'll check in and see how the other races are going. And then from that point, we'll move on into phase 2. I did not know that tidbit about the stat carryover, though. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's insane. I was like, wait, what difference does that make? And then someone explained to me. I was like, oh, I see. They're like, yeah, training to finish a run and, you know, farm up an inherit or like a parent for your next one is very different than trying to get something that is going to rank highly on the leaderboards. I was like, I see.
Makes sense. Yeah, it's like, so I have a one of the other gateways that got me into this Umamusume game is that I used to play another little side game, mobile game called Princess Connect, right? Princess Connect Redive. I don't know if there's any Princess Connect fans in chat. And yeah, there was definitely like units that were better suited for PvP arena and some that were better suited for like clan battle, right? So
right.
You're aiming for different things at the end of the day. All right, all these gamers are locked in. I'm going to ask for the final check and see if they're ready to go.
I'll never forgive Crunchyroll. I avert my eyes. Don't worry, guys. I'm sure you're in good company with that sentiment. Don't worry. Any Dragalia mourners? Every time I see the Dragalia player that like plays Narmaya and Grand Blue Rising, I'm just like, I think of that despite never having played it. I'm like, damn, Dragalia really did lose.
Game. All right, I think I got the confirmation from all these gamers, so we're going to go ahead and send it forward. I see Agnes Tachyon, Bourbon, a couple of A ranks, a few Bourbons actually. Yeah, a couple of new horses that we haven't seen before coming to the fray here. El Condor Pasa, one of my personal favorites.
Dude, she's so sick. People reacting to seeing her without the mask on Twitter is really funny. They're like, wait, oh my goodness.
You can't do that.
I didn't realize it come off, yeah.
Like saying that Santa isn't real, the Tooth Fairy's not real,
Yes.
El Condor Pasa's mask can come off. What is life, man? Like, so yeah, here is the spread of what we have going on here. So, as I was saying, a bunch of bourbon. So everybody brought bourbon. Like, literally,
let's
ooh,
go.
some French strategies.
Wait, this is 3 bourbons. You're right. That is insane. I did not realize that.
Yeah, 3 bourbons all running a French strategy, which has been one of the less common strategies that we've seen, kind of based off distance. That could be why people were begging for something to be less than 3,000,
Okay.
knowing that they
right,
had this
right.
bourbon coming to fruition. So a couple of paces, a couple of lates. All right, this is gonna be an interesting one. Some different strategies that we'll be seeing come to fruition here.
I still can't believe we have 3 bourbons, man. That's not, you know, that's not a 1-star. That's not a 2-star. That's a recent banner for the Gundam Uma. So, I mean, we got some bourbon appreciators here as we head into our next match on the Kyoto turf, a solid 3,000 meters.
Here it is, and there they go. Okay, so the question is, out of the front-running strategies, which one is going to be the most front? Do any of them have debuffs? Did any of them expect other front-runners to be there? There's so many questions here. Because obviously they'll take out of the pack, like, initially as we're seeing that gap widen. But which bourbon is simply built different?
Yeah, we're already seeing a couple of these gold skills kind of proc very early on for 2 of these bourbons. So Gator, the bro, already taking a slight lead here. But again, early on, like before the actual last spurt, right? If you guys don't know, your top speed is limited. You do not hit your actual like Uma's top speed until that last spurt where you have to accelerate to it. So we'll see. We got a decent amount of distance to go.
Indeed, indeed. And I mean, yeah, it's really easy to kind of focus on with the front runners and what's going on here and how it may shape out within the end of the race. But of course, as we've well known and learned, the pace and late chaser strategies can really shake things up within the last third, and especially like the or last half, and especially the last third of these races. She's still trying her best, y'all. Like without her,
She was rushed.
none of
She
this
got
is
late
possible.
start, but she's still trying her best. She's doing it. She's doing it, bros. Yeah, and Swinging Maestro, of course, we're going to be seeing that skill proc, you know, just about every race. It's so good to try and fulfill some of these stamina requirements, especially if you're getting hit by a debuff as well. Like, that might be a little extra bit of insurance as well.
Indeed, indeed. Which horse is that on the 4th? I can't recognize by just the ponytail.
On the 4th? Oh, that's El Condor Pasa. You can't tell because you can't see her mask. I understand.
True.
Like,
I can't believe I didn't recognize my goat.
Profile.
Some goat that is for me. A Taurus spotted. Like,
All good. No, it's okay. We're new. We're all new here in Global Uma. I understand. Everyone's still getting used to recognizing the accessories, but okay, there we go. Over in the front, it's the 3 Mihono Bourbons. That L just coming up right in between, and now we're holding on to the back, making sure the turf is all good.
yes. Shout outs to Haru holding it down. Camera woman down in the back. Okay, but we see like the distances between the horses really kind of condensing here. Those pace chasers letting their strategies rock as the El Condor takes out within the front. Yeah, those front runners, I don't really know what else they have in order to like catch up to her at this point. We see the nice nature coming up from the back as well.
Yep, the nature debuffer like we've seen in some of these previous races. Every time I see McQueen ult skill, I just think of Northern Lion calling it tea time, but I don't know, man. Tea time's gotta put in a little bit of overtime because you are so far behind. This El Condor Pasa finally taking a little bit to the lead now, and we were talking about nice nature as if she's just a debuffer, but I don't know, man. It's a close second place, but El Condor Pasa only getting faster. Velocity up, it's 2 legs, it's 3 legs, and it's a first place for El Condor Pasa. That should be the win for SFTY.
Yeah, that last velocity might have been what pushed it over the edge there. It could have been a home stretch or really anything in order to make that happen. But yes, SFTY on that El Condor. Looking good, looking good. A rank horse, the pedigree insane out here. And was it the home stretch? Yeah, slightly increased velocity. And then just a lot of, look at all these gold skills. Oh my God.
Wait, this L actually has like Omega Stam recovery. We have Swinging Maestro, we have Iron Will, and we have Gorman. If I'm, my memory is difficult when there's like 10 Umas all proccing skills, but I'm pretty sure we hit all 3 of those throughout the race, right? And again, 3,000 is actually the shortest race that we've seen on stream, but it's still one of the longer, race distances that we have in the game. So having the insurance of that skill just to proc, and also the good luck to make. Wait, actually, I was gonna call it good luck, but look at that wit stat, right? We have 600. A lot of people will say, oh, 300 to 500 is usually like a good range to make sure your skills are proccing decently often. 600, of course, there's diminishing returns, but it's a consistent way to make sure you got your stam up.
Not bad at all. Oh my god! Wait, the max limit break Super Creek?
That's the classic, man. You actually finding an MLB Super Creek friend. That's a core skill.
Holy well, bro. All right, I see what type of game we're playing here.
I followed like one MLB Super Creek early on, and I feel like I've just picked it on so many runs, man. That support is so damn good.
Absolutely. See, me, I just be borrowing from my friends, bro. We're trying to build up the economy here. Like, I don't be looking for, the other followers to get some of the huge strats to get the optimal. I'm trying to build up the friend points. So.
Oh, true.
Makes sense though. There it is. That was SFTY that's moving forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let me go ahead and get that reported.
SFTY is going to move on to the next match. I wonder if this. Let's see. Does that bring us over to phase 2? It might.
We have one more. Yeah, Group 19 is the last one that we'll be running on stream. I don't know the progress of the other. Actually, I do know the progress of the other brackets. This is being updated in real time. It looks like everybody is actually kind of ahead. They're waiting. They're waiting on us over here. So yeah, once we do the next one, we'll be jumping into phase 2.
Scenario.
Yeah.
All right, so up next, it looks like we got... So I met this gamer at Anime Expo last weekend, and I know they go by Wayne, but when I read their username, I'm like, is it Wayne W or Wanu? Like, I'm wondering how the tag itself is supposed to be read. But up next, it looks like we're going to be having Wayne, Master Chief, and Harrison Fjord? That's us.
Harrison Fjord. I'm glad you dropped that lore on me, because I've been reading this tag all day and I haven't been sure how to pronounce it. I'm like, is it Wanu? Waynu? Like, so Wayne is I'm
gonna go by Wayne for now. You guys are I remember seeing them over in chat earlier, so they can correct me if that's not how they would like to go by. But yeah, Wayne looks like they're repping Inari 1, so we haven't really seen much of this horse in global yet, obviously. But if you guys have been keeping up with Cinderella Gray, she will she will have her time very soon. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the first core. I am a big fan of the adaptation they've done so far, and I cannot imagine they will fumble the ball for core 2.
Absolutely. All right, well, we got Master Chief, Harrison Fjord, and Wayne on standby here. We just got to figure out which course they're going to be headed to. Will it be under 3,000 this time? Who knows?
Who knows, man? Half of the wheel is under 3,000, and yet we've been sticking on that right side, the special week side. So we'll see.
Let's see what we got. Oh, 2,600 Hanshin? Oh my gosh, it's here.
Oh my god, we finally have a race below 3,000. It was close too. It was almost Hanshin at the 3K, but looks like we got a little bit shorter of the long distance races finally here for our 4th match.
Cool. Yeah, see how this plays into some of the potential possibilities here. I'm really curious about like some of the people that we've had on stream, if they have more than 3 Umas than they traded for this race, and so it would have like significantly impacted what they brought to the table depending on what track was moving forward. Because like seeing those 3 Bourbons pop out of nowhere, and when we haven't seen Bourbon like all tournament long, was a bit jarring. It wasn't that different of a race. I don't know if they were going to be committed to Bourbon no matter what, or if it's because like that was rolled. They were like, oh, my Bourbon's perfect for this,
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering as well. And also, I'm checking over in the chat, and Wayne is like, dude, my roommate is in this race. This is so messed up. And I mean, it's single elim, and it is not based on points. So, fighting your roommate to get out of pools is a little crazy. But as Umamusume has taught us throughout the character routes, through the game, through the anime, through the manga, there are 16 horses that go into the paddock, and only one of them can win. So that's just how these things go.
That is wild, man. Like, if either of you like win though, right? would you be using that towards like the Kitasan Black Banner, or is there like, you know, some the milk has to be bought for like the community fridge or something? Like, where's the money going there? It's just like
Is it going to Kitasan Black, or is it going towards rent and utilities? Like, that's something they gotta figure out on the back end there if they make it to. So we are kind of in our phase one, right? Our OP is how it's styled as the open races. And then coming up, we have the G3 phase, the G2 phase, and of course the G1 finals to see who takes home that beautiful Matcherino $50 pot, which also could be a little bit more in that Matcherino pot if you guys stop on by. The link is already in the chat. And for those of you not super familiar with how it works, of course, there's a button in the top right that says login. You log in with any of your social media, click the claim coupon code button, and at no cost to you, it's a free 25 cents over to the prize pool. So stop on by.
Indeed. Super glad that you pointed that out, because there's been some developments over here. So like, first and foremost, only 5 Matcherino codes left. So thank you all for utilizing those codes. The pot is at $101.25. Thanks to a $40 donation from Draymore. So thank you so much for that. The comment reads, but what if it was $100? And I hate to inform you, it's not $100, $101.50. So
that's pretty good. Thank you for the generosity. Holy.
Indeed. Thank you so much. And yeah, if you gamers, I'm not trying to like, you know, gaslight y'all on the direct donations, but that is another pro. If you do leave a donation directly and you leave a comment within reason, I will read your comment on stream.
Exactly. We'll have like the mental filter real quick, but if you want to shout out your, you know, favorite horses, your Oshi, I mean, I'm seeing the team tags from these gamers. Of course, Wayne representing Inari 1, Master Chief doing it for Hosho Marin, and Harrison Fjord. Actually, I'm assuming this is an acronym, but I cannot for the life of me determine or decipher what it is.
Right.
I'll put it in the chat and you guys let me know what it means.
Not sure. Okay. So yeah, we have Harrison rocking a TM Opera at A rank, a Mayana Top Gun, and a gold ship. Master Chief just coming in here. Nice Nature showing an appearance again. Really, I don't know if this is what Cheap's locking in, but a really interesting spread of Umas, as they're all like 2 stars and 1 stars. No 3 stars being shown here from Cheap.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a good amount of Tachyon. I think some of these previous races has some solid skills for the distance. I think we see a lot of her in medium races, right? And Super Creek is kind of her long distance counterpart, but still pretty solid for some of these longer races as well, at least with her, you know, abundance of stamina skills. So shouldn't be too bad.
Fun. Here, I want to check out what's going on here. TM Opera swinging Maestro. Of course.
Well, what else would we have thought? Yeah, you're right.
Right. Very cool. Let me check on Wayne here. Make sure Wayne's not running into any issues. Gonna look at the good old Discord here.
Yeah, check that out. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the Uma action this fine afternoon. Of course, if you guys want to check out some of the other races, they are also being streamed. So again, in the top right of the Twitch chat, there are also some other gamers that we are sharing that chat with, and they're streaming the other POVs of the other Umamusume gamers. So stop on by if you want to see a little bit more while we got some downtime up here.
Indeed. All right, Wayne is in. Wayne is locked in. I'm going to ping all the gamers one last time just to make sure they're ready to go. Are y'all ready to roll?
Ready to roll, ready to rumble. Again, this is a match to make it out of pools. So after this, there are, let's see, how many gamers? So there's 1, 2, 3 more races after this to make it to that #1 spot. And of course, they're only getting more and more difficult as you go. But once you make it here, you're basically in the URA finals qualifiers.
100%. From 81 to 27 to 9 to 1. These trainers rather, are trying to make it all happen as we go into our final streamed match of pools. Master Chief, Wayne, and Harrison Fjord. And there it is.
I believe in my girls. That's the heart of a pure trainer, Master Chief. That's what you need to survive in the rough world of the Twinkle series.
That's what it's all about, man. There's a hidden stat when it comes to, like, you know, stamina, guts, power, wit, and speed, and it's love. All right, love is really the stat that carries at the end of the day. All right, like
it's true. Mashallah, he believes in his horse. He can do no wrong. His horse will do her best, and that's all we can ask for.
Indeed, indeed. All right, a couple of front, really even spread of strategies that we see coming to the table here, actually. So let's see how it all plays out.
Yeah, a couple front runners on the Mayano Top Gun. So we're seeing our first gold ship, you know, of these races, which I'm a little surprised on, right? We kind of brought her up at the top of the stream as a character that is kind of, you know, starts off pretty strong in the long distances. So gonna be pulling up here for Harrison Fjord as we head into our next match again on the Hanshin turf, one of our lower distances of the long distances at 2600.
And they're off. Okay. Yeah, Top Gun being one of the front runners here. We'll be interested to see if she is catered to like a carry position, debuffer. Didn't get really a huge chance to check all the stats, but yeah, we've seen. I don't know if we've had a front runner win quite yet. A lot of promising showings, but it's tough in these long distance streets.
Yeah, and we have these Mayano Top Guns running up in the front runner area, just big chillin' as we you know, take our first spurt, our first straightaway. Stop asking if my Tokai Teo is the #1 fave. Don't check the seating. Don't check the start.gg. Just check the finish line, because that's where you'll see me. If that Sejam quote becomes an Uma copy pasta, I think that's for the betterment of the world. That shit's so good.
It's a strong quote. Like when I saw it from your post, and I was just like, bro,
yeah.
Only Sejam. Like
that's what I'm saying. All right, a little bit of a position shift here for the Mayano Top Guns, but otherwise still pretty static as we head into our second half. Tokai Teo coming up behind, leading the pace chasers with TM Opera O, McQueen, Simply Rudolph, Agnes Tachyon in that middle pack, and of course at the back, I mean, Nice Nature and Gold Ship kind of taking up this late surger position.
Indeed, indeed. As we're approaching the 2/3 point of the race, final corner, do we have that corner acceleration, corner recovery, corner endurance? Ooh. What's going on here? Okay, Tokai Teo really sneaking up here.
Kind of getting a little bit more bunched up, yeah.
Yeah. Still hanging on in the back there, the Nice Nature and the Gold Ship. Do you see some ult proc here? Yo, the front runner that could?
Damn, the triple ult proc as well. 2 Mayano Top Guns, 1 Major McQueen, but T-Time still has you so far behind. We're coming into the final straightaway here. That last corner, a couple screen maestros and 1 more ult from Tokai Teo. No debuffs to be seen, but still Simply Rudolph hop in that old skill one more time.
This is gonna be crazy, bro. I actually don't know which way this is gonna go. They're all bunched up. The TM Opera kind of there. The front runners have, you know, slipped back a bit. Nice Nature hugging Symboli. Oh my, dog, if it was like 100 more meters, I think Symboli smoked her. I'm not gonna lie. That was down to the wire, like.
That was so scary. We saw, you know, Opera O overtake Simply Rudolph, but just in that last second, it's exactly like you're saying, Atkins. If we were on a 2,800 meter course, that could have been the difference here. So, you know, maybe just a difference in power when the skills actually procced, but just didn't have enough power to accelerate as quickly as we needed to secure that final spurt. But Harrison Fjord moving on out of pools here to the URA finale qualifiers over Wayne and Master Chief. But look how close that first, second, and third is. That's just how good these Uma gamers got it, man.
Listen, after a heartbreaker like that, if y'all really are roommates, Fjord, I think the least that you can do is wash the dishes tonight, buddy. Like, come on. That was such a...
Load the dishwasher, please. You know, your roommate's mourning right now.
Amazing race, though. I was on the edge of my seat. Very competitive, honestly. They all finished top 3. I think they all had very competent strategies, but it was that TM Opera that I was eyeing at the beginning that was able to edge it out at the end of the day. So phenomenal stuff from really everybody that was displayed here.
Absolutely. And that is going to be the last match of our pool section, our open races. So just as a little catch up, I know we can't really share you the internal Excel sheet right now, but as far as the folks who have made it out of Uma pools, we got E30, May Jumpy, Rice Shower. Group B, we got Black Jet, Saya, and Hira, who we're going to be seeing up next on the stream as we get this room match sorted out. So Atkins is going to be pinging them on the backside. We got Zen, Soara, and Acero. We got a decent amount of folks here. So Maya Ariut, W Agent, Ainerken, SFTY, Ravi Dog, Wool. Oh, I see Library. I see Scarlet Skill, and Shido. Yo, that's Oof. Oof, made it out of pools. Let's go. And then Let's see, we just had Harrison Fjord make it out as well against Marune and Leo2DX. There's going to be Galley. There's Omniscythe. I didn't realize Omniscythe had signed up for this as well, you know, from TL to UMA. And then we're waiting on, I think, Group 24's winner to update. And our final 3 past this pools match is Astral Onion, Illumin, and Hubby-kun. So we're going to roll for our next race course.
Indeed, indeed. I need to call an audible here because the next the next stream match is supposed to be Blackjet, Saya, and Hira. Hira is one of our streamers, so
wait,
I believe so. So I need to see what exactly is going on here to see if that's truly what we're gonna roll with, or if we may hop over to another match. Let's see.
That is so funny because I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was like a last-minute DQ that ended up getting filled by one of those streamer positions. And funny enough as well, we don't have one streamer in this match. We have 2 because Saya, if you guys see their, what's it called, their little clan tag, they got BIS, which is Bestie in Slot, who is also going to be hosting another UMA tournament tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But instead of long, it's actually going to be the medium distance. So a little bit lower on the stam requirements. And it's also going to be 1v1s. The strategies are going to be very different. Hopefully, if you guys are available tomorrow and you want some more Umamusume PvP action, you guys are welcome to stop on by and come out for day 2.
Absolutely. Yeah, I signed up for the Bestie in Slot bracket myself once I found out it was happening. Shout out to them. In fact, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and get like an exclamation point Bestie set up on the Nightbot. Be sure to show them some love as they've shown us some love. We live in a society where we have 2 huge like Umamusume Pretty Derby brackets happening on a weekend. Like what is happening, Jsu? Like
life is so good. If you told this to like the Jitsu of, what is it right now? It's the middle of July. If you told this to Jitsu from Maitsu 2025, he would be like, dude, you're on some crazy hopium right now. Like, we're all gonna be too busy playing global to be pulling up for a PvP bracket, right? There's no way we're gonna cap out in 12 hours for an 81 person 3v3 bracket, right? Like that's a little insane of you. Little did I know, 2 months later, we would be popping off with 2 events in a row on this fine weekend.
Indeed. Start.gg/carrot. That's the one, yeah? That's what it's looking like to me.
Yeah. CARAT, I think.
Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna get you all set up right here, right now.
Let's see if I get shot for this in the chat. I do. Okay, never mind. You guys can type it in. We'll have the exclamation point bracket ready in just a second. But start.gg/carrot. That's CARAT.
Here, let's see.
Nice Nature in a 3-person 3v3v3 gotta be tweaking. I mean, you have the extra slots for it now. And now if we were doing debuff Nice Nature in 1v1, that's just Agent of Chaos, man. You got, if you're building for debuffs, that means you're not building to actually win the race, right? So yeah, no.
Got bracket happening tomorrow. Boom. And then start.gg/carrot. Create.
Huge.
Exclamation point Bestie. Uh-oh. There it is. Show some love. They don't have a cap either, so it's literally just like, yo, pull up. Like
it's like, we'll make it work. Like we'll figure these things out. But also, I guess because it's 1v1, right? You can do 15 people plus the spectator at a time. So fingers crossed it'll also go to a manageable time. But I know the Bestie and Slot folks, it's not their first rodeo with TOing, so I'm sure they got a plan on the back end. Foolish me trying carrot CARROT and getting sent to melee singles. What is that? I want to check it out on my end as well. Is that a recent event? It's from 2022.
Incredible.
Wait, the tournament name is called LGBT Illegal Happenings, and it's just a 16-player bracket that's start.gg/carrot. I need the lore on this. I'm so confused how the short URL links to the event. Someone's got to do some detective research.
Yeah, you got to know there's some crazy lore going on with the carrot-based event, but people are looking for carrots, Jsu. That's what the people want. The first place finisher of this bracket. That's what we're aiming for. And we will see if one of these gamers, Saya, Blackjet, or Hero, will be able to chase that carrot on the treadmill. But what is the treadmill choice? Which field?
got the
Sapporo?
spin week.
Sapporo 2600.
Damn. Wait, I'm just realizing like the layout of the wheel. There's like 5 slices that are all next to each other on special week side that are all 2600. So the fact that we avoided that like 4 times in a row is really funny.
Impressive, incredible to say
That's
the least.
sick.
Oh, cool. All right, let me get these gamers set up over here then. There we go. Sapporo 2600.
Let's see it. I'm late, OMG. No, you're just on time. We just finished up the pool section of the Umamusume action. Now we got 3 more. Actually, there's a few more than 3. But, you know, we got a few more matches to see who's going to take it in number 1. I want to say, let me do a little math, which is always very difficult when you are live and commentating. Like,
right?
You do it automatically. But we have our top 27 right now, and we're trying to whittle that down to our final 9.
Indeed. I always get freaked out. So when I make these rooms, right, obviously I got to put the G-Rank Haru up there. And given like the confines of the race, the game really doesn't want you to do that. It brings up this pop-up message in Redding saying like, are you sure you want to race this G-Rank Haru who's like tuned to dirt naturally, and this is like a turf long race and she's going to like fall and die? Like, are you sure you want to do that? And I'm just like, yeah, game, trust. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional. Like,
it's painful, right? Sometimes the environmental storytelling just goes a little hard. I will say, without spoiling anything, there is a horse whose route later on, she's not released on global right now. There is a horse who, as part of her story, gets like critically injured before one of her races, and you are locked out of every training option aside from the rest option. And she is not on the screen. It's just Tazuna telling you, hey, I think your trainee should rest. And it is like, it is a gut punch. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh my god, man, this is insane. I didn't realize the horse racing stuff got this serious.
This Uma stuff is serious. I've been saying that phrase every day since this game has come out. Just like the escalation of it all. We're just like, 1, learning how the game works, and then 2, seeing how many of my friends are playing it. 3, seeing how many huge streamers are playing this. Like, dog, like Ludwig has been like ruining or blessing my algorithm. It depends on which way you look at it, for like the past year on YouTube, and then seeing that he's into the game, ran a tournament for it. I made a post on Blue Sky the other day of like, you know, you learned about Umamusume through watching Northern Lion. I learned about Northern Lion by consuming Umamusume content. We are not the same. Like,
it's like the algorithm goes both ways, but when you see someone from the other side of the pond, you're like, wait, interesting. This is your favorite bald streamer. This is my favorite horse girl media franchise. So nice to meet you. And it's just horse handshake emoji horse. You're like, okay, I see.
Wild.
Northern Lion on the Peloton raising his speed with his horses. Dude, I thought that he was just gonna do one stream and he was gonna be like, hey guys, we're not gonna be running the horse game anymore. I had a good time, but I think it's just not for me. He comes back the next day. He's like, yeah, got a couple races on while I was on the Peloton this morning. I'm doing real good in career mode. I'll tell you what, when I'm off the saddle and I just get to watch the race, it's peak, man. I'm like, what? He's hooked, man. He's locked in. Like, he's been streaming like every day. People coming in his chat, it's just like, oh, it's more horse game. He's just like, what's wrong with you as a person? Like, how could you just like horse game? Like, exactly. It's like it's similar to when he was doing a lot of Trick Shot Simulator. They'd be like, dude, can you play a real game now? What is this? He's like, you don't understand the streaming experience, man. This is the only real game. This is what he said before Umamusume, right? Now there's only 2 real games. There's Umamusume Pretty Derby and there's Trick Shot Simulator. Everything else is a facade. It's an abstraction of video gaming on top of an abstraction. But, you know, it's funny to see, you know, even other streamers that are like, oh, why are you asking me about if I'm playing horse game? Have you never wanted to win something in your life? Get out of my chat. I'm like, what? That's crazy.
absolutely insane. All right, these gamers are in. They have the horses in. I'm going to get the final check-in and see if they're ready to go.
Okay.
I saw
So once again, we got
A-rings
Blackjet,
popping up.
Saya, and Hira. Yeah. These are some strong horses as we're making our way out of pools into the G3 graded races. or URA finale qualifiers.
Is I got the okay. Let's move this thing forward. Countdown 4, 3, 2, 1. Hell yeah. All right, let's see what we got going on here fully. All right. Oh my god, there's a grape that's like shining. The black jet over here with this already cap.
Yeah, oh my god.
Just...
Great.
Okay. Ooh, how do we say this one, Jesu? It's Mati
Machikane Fukugitaru. So there's a big knowledge check with this name. So the lore on why it's spelled like that is because the character limit, I think, is like 18, right? Like 18 characters. So even though it's pronounced Machi, like CHI, that would go over the character limit. So they have it as TI, like the old, I think it's like Hepburn romanization. But that gets people a lot, I will say. Otherwise, it's phonetic and you just got to practice it.
Matikani Fuki. I almost did it. I've been practicing this for so long.
You had it. You had it. Yes,
Matikani Fuki Kitaru. Matikani Fuki Kitaru?
Yes,
Okay. We got it. We got it. Okay.
See, you're getting it, man. You got it. Okay, we got a couple grass wonders here as well. Okay, we're finally seeing another gold chip coming out from Saya.
Indeed. Vegeta Ryan from Black Jet. Okay.
Yeah. Clean. We usually see this character kind of raised as a parent, right? Because she has a lot of really strong skills as well. But she's getting her time in the limelight as well. No longer overshadowed by McQueen.
Right. Loving the variety that we've seen throughout the entirety of this event, man. Like, you can really kind of see the strategies poking out, and then some of the niche picks where people are just making room for either, like, their Oshi or, like, something that could work, but people may not think of, and that's going to be the full showcase of Vegeta Ryan here for Blackjet. But all these gamers have won previously. You got to expect that they're going to be strong and have some great strategies as we go into this race.
All right, El Condor Pasa immediately taking up the lead position here, front running a little bit. All right, right shower right behind. Oguri Cap kind of taking up the pace chaser positions, but hanging out in the back, right, is just about everyone else. Major Orion, a couple grass wonders. I see Machikane Fukugitaru back there. Everybody. Oh, okay, there we go. We got the whole squad. Simply Rudolph as well.
Yeah, it's a bit jarring to see these big gaps that are forming here as, essentially, this is the story of how a lot of these races have gone. It's just essentially like the pace chasers and the, end and late runners. You really can't count them out. A lot of what they're going to show is going to be coming out at the end there. But we're seeing some endurance, some acceleration, all that good stuff as we're nearing the halfway point.
Nano in the chat saying, I say her full name every time to intimidate. I'm just saying, man, if someone came up to me and they were like, oh, you also love Machikane Fukugitaru, I would like be taken aback a little bit. I would be stopped in place and stun locked. But these racers are not stun locked. They got swinging maestro, so that's quite a boost the stamina once again as we make our way around this halfway mark.
I'm not gonna lie, I have my eyes on that Oguri Cap. If I recall correctly from looking within the lobby, I think that's like Black Jet's ace, like who seems like it's gonna be built around. So as we get to this final third, that El Condor is looking clean, looking good for now, but things can get dirty real quickly here as more of these skills pop off.
Yeah, I don't know if we have any characters specifically built for debuffs here. I at least haven't been seeing any, but we're coming up into the final spurt in just a little bit here. 800 more meters as we head our way into this back stretch of the race course. Big chill in here with El Condor Pasa. Again, still such a big lead.
Yeah, there we go. I'm seeing some velocity up, pop up. Speed star from Black Jet. I'm telling you, keep a good eye on that Oguri Cap. She is moving and grooving. Right shower not too far behind. El Condor Pasa losing the lead in an instant.
Damn, the acceleration on that final corner, too. I mean, it's just like Cinderella Gray, man. We still got the gold skill popping off for Fukugitaru, but Oguri Cap takes the lead. Grass Wonder overtaking El Condor Pasa as well. Simbali Rudolph fighting for that third place, but not able to find it. It's Black Jet's Oguri, the ace, taking it for first place.
I just had a feeling, that just looking through, like, the build, it really seemed like everything was going to be centered around this Oguri Cap, right? Just the A rank, the speed ready to go, S in long, and, of course, the pedigree insane on these support cards. It's all built around the finals champion, the GOAT.
There we go, man. And the S aptitudes on the distance, I forget what stat that modifies. I know that the style stat is a little bit less important. I mean, wit and wisdom for your skill procs is, obviously pretty important, but, not the most effectual thing here. But yeah, the Oguri Cap is going to be taking it. Saya and Hira are going to be unfortunately knocked out, but you still made it out of pools. You get your Uma Chipotle card.
Indeed. Man, chat killing me out here. Oh, Goody Gap, is that what we're calling this? One of the best Umas in the game? Gap,
So
like.
Okay, wait, yeah. We can't be calling top tier Gap. Like, let's slow your roll a little bit there. Okay, she's the GOAT, but Ogre Gap, I don't know. I gotta shake my head at that one.
An ambitious titling, to say the least. But either way,
That's
solid
what
stuff
I'm
to
saying.
Black Jet. I'll be moving on. Let's make sure we get this reported here as that gamer is headed into the top 9.
Ooh,
Crazy.
there we go. Okay. And we're seeing over on the other side as well. So these were on Lonely Reason and .mp4 streams. Looks like Made Jumpy is going to be making it to our G2 races, our semifinals, and so is Soara. So making it out over Zen, S0, and E30 and Rice Shower as well. So they're going to be making it. And who do we have next on stream? I'm scrolling over to our G3s. Let's see. Oh, we got Galley, Omniscythe, and who won for Group 24? That was Cross Alter, Mankoto, and Michael CS17. So I'm not sure who ended up taking that, but we are going to be seeing them up next over here on the stream.
Indeed. In fact, give me a moment here. Let me check on the status of that. I know here it was just running. I'm not sure if that race finished or if it's going to be happening like right now. So
yeah,
get a check-in going on here.
Library lost by a neck. That's heartbreaking, man, because Library was up against Scarlet Skill and Shino. So I'm wondering, so it's either Scarlet or Shino. I'm curious to see. I know Shino has been giving me some updates on his Rice Shower. That's his Oshi, so that's the main that he's been training up. I wonder if he trained any debuffers for this, or if he was like, no, I'm just gonna go in with the merit of my #1 and everything else can fill in the gaps. Who's the most giraffe-looking Uma? I feel like if I answer this, like, someone is gonna shoot me.
Oh yeah, your
So
mentions are
I'm gonna
cooked.
leave that to you guys. There is no right answer for the commentators here. Maybe for you guys, there's a particularly long-necked Umamusume, but I believe in you guys to figure that out on your own. You got it.
I have the politically correct answer, right? I mean, Biwa, big head, have to have a big neck to support the head. So I mean,
that is true. That is true. So now I'm wondering, as far as like the races that end by a matter of a head or a neck, would you rather, because a lot of the Umas, depending on their running style, right? Some of them are at like a 45-degree angle, just like really leaned into it, but some of them run relatively upright. So I'm wondering if that also makes a difference, and also whether you would rather have a big head or whether you would have particularly long ears. It's there's a lot to consider here, though we do never see a win by ears. For whatever that's worth.
The inner machinations and theory crafting of these Uma races go deep, even down to the anatomy. Like,
it's true.
Are you built different? Are you built proper? Oh my gosh. Okay, Michael CS17 is who advanced out of that Group 24 match. It will be Galley, Omniscythe, and Michael CS17 coming up here. Omniscythe is also a funny story because they were a waitlist gamer.
Yeah.
First on the waitlist, immediate. Like, you could tell they just barely missed the registration. So as soon as the spot opened up, they were ready to go. And yeah, has participated in a lot of like the brackets for like multi-blood and stuff. So I think they saw this happening. They're always gotcha gamers, so they locked it immediately.
Damn. Okay. He's like, I'm taking my talents to new pastures. I'll see you guys in the paddock. And they're like, Omni, what the hell are you talking about, man? And then he boots up Umamusume. You like see a little Steam notification. He has like the party dash emote and like avatar and everything. They're like, oh no, we lost him to Uma, man. There's no way.
Dude, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know about you, but my Steam friends list has been a mess for the past 2 weeks, bro. I bring it up and it just
Agree.
Umamusume. Well, okay. Initially, it was like I have like 12 friends on Umamusume Pretty Derby. I'm like, okay, I mean, understandable.
Yes.
As time has gone along, it's not only I have 12 friends on Umamusume Pretty Derby, all of their Steam names have changed. So it's like Oguri Cap is on Umamusume, and they have the Oguri Cap profile picture. And it's like LeBron James and Haru Urara. It's like Haru Best Girl is on Umamusume Pretty Derby. I'm like, what happened to you people, bro? It's a virus that has spread. Like, please get a hold of yourselves. Like,
like the only way I can tell who's actually playing video games on my Steam list now when they pop up as the notification is the profile picture. But if they change it to a horse, I'm like, all right, all bets are off, man. Like, I don't even know who you are. I might just unfriend you at this point if I don't feel particular. If I'm too lazy to look up your previous aliases, you're getting knocked off the list. But we gotta knock out another spin of the Spinoi weak wheel to figure out our next distance for this race.
let's get it. A lot of 2600s popping up as of late. Will we continue that trend or go the long way? It looks like it's Fukushima 2600 coming right up for these gamers.
okay, just barely on that last 2,600 meters, like you said, gonna be heading over to Fukushima. I feel for the folks that are watching right now because they got knocked out in pools and they're like, man, my horse was optimized for like the mid 2000s races. This 3000 stuff, it's not for me. I was banking it all on a lower long distance, but that's the look of the draw, man. You got to be ready for anything.
Yeah, that's how it goes. This is like, as I was saying earlier, what do you do? Do you build for a specific distance? Do you build a whole bunch of horses for a variety of different distances? Do you have the time and resources to even do that? Like, there's a lot of things that come into the equation here. Like,
yeah, there's definitely a lot to keep in mind here. So we're sending over this room ID to the gamers. We're going to be seeing who we got up next. We've kind of brought it up as we see people kind of loading into the lobby. I like that we're getting a little bit of variety as we head on into things. I know there's some commonplace Umamusume that we'll be seeing quite a bit. You know, Ogre Cap has been pretty popular. Actually, haven't seen a ton of gold ship, but, you know, a little bit on certain people's teams. We saw a lot of debuffers early on with Nice Nature as well. So we shall see how strong the Oshi rabbit hole goes.
yeah, a couple of Symboli Rudolphs. El Condor front-running strategy is something that we've been seeing kind of tinkered with, but it just hasn't been victorious quite yet. Same with that one race where we had like the 3 bourbons. I'm seeing the gamer joining here, in-game name Layla, has the Rice Shower, who is... We've seen a lot of promise from. I think there's been a good amount of top 3, if not top 2 finishes from people that are trying to run Rice Shower. Just can't quite seal the deal. So there's a lot of potential all over the place. It's crazy how like just having something as defined as like long distance running and everything else is random still brings out a lot of different strategies that show like they have potential, they can work, and seeing how they do across each other, you know?
Exactly. And I'm looking at the other characters that they got on their team. So starting out with the Rice Shower, the Tachyon, and they got my goat. They got Special Week. Life is so good. I think we saw one Special Week in one of the previous races, but she's kind of statted out. We're checking it out over on the side here. 800 speed, 900 stam, and, you know, hitting the marks for 400 guts, 300 wit. So I think she'll be doing pretty okay. She's also got 3 stam recovery as well, and swinging Maestro and Gorman. So she's in good position to stay alive for that last spurt.
Hey, yo, Omnisite, bro. I mean, I know that like one of their main games is Multi-Blood type Lumina, and like that's one of the older games in the fold now. I did not realize that the rabbit hole has gone this deep. Did you see what they just pulled up with, bro? I thought this was a fucking gamer.
I saw the triple A ranks. That's insane, bro. There is no way.
Oh my gosh. Let me make sure I get these name tags updated before we transition here. I will make sure that these gamers are ready to go before I start it up as I get that going. Galley, Omniscythe, Michael CS. Final check-in. Are y'all ready to race?
Let's see it. And a good observation from chat as well. We're not seeing a lot of Special Week because one of the first MLB like max limit break SSRs that we have, right, that's farmable from the event, is the Special Week support. And you cannot use that support if you're training her up as well. So, you know, one of these considerations to come in with, especially as we are still waiting for SSR Kirasan, which is, as I'm sure you guys have heard by now, a very, very good speed card.
That's what everybody's looking for. My ass is over here. I heard MLB. I'm thinking Major League Baseball. I'm not in the gotcha.
That's what I do.
I'm not in that gotcha game mindset.
The first time I saw that term, the first time I saw it was someone talking about MLB Majiro, and they sent a picture of her at a baseball game.
Oh,
so I was like, oh, okay, I guess that's just what we call, like, we colloquially call this card because she's at a baseball game, right? And they're like, no, it means max limit break. I'm like, come on, man.
The layers, as it is, but no, it won't be Major League Baseball. We have some inside baseball. Let's take a look inside within this match as we have going on here. Again, it was just kind of a jump scare as Omniside joined the lobby. How much luck can he have? They're all in like no less than a good mood. 2 of them are in great moods. This thing's insane. Actually, a lot of them are in really good moods at this moment. That's crazy.
He's cheating, man. I can't check him PC, bro. I'm over it. And the Haru Urara's in bad mood too.
Damn. I mean, she's been doing a lot of work for us today. You know, I just because of what she's been able to do for us today, I don't think I'm gonna have her legacy like sent off. She's gonna stay on my account forever. Like, that's a goat right there.
That's what I'm saying, man. We gotta keep that veteran. We gotta favorite her, and remember, this was the first ever UMA Global bracket.
Celebrity at this point.
That's what I'm saying, man. Sneaking in the parfaits, man. That's what I'm saying. I thought we turned that off. There's no sweets to be had here, but I guess with a couple McQueens, you know, we can leave a couple sweets on the side. We'll be okay.
With a cup of tea to go with it. All right, Fukushima 2600. Let's see what we got going on here.
Okay, solid starts from everyone.
Hey, Majuro coming out on the front of the pack here at the moment. I can't okay, so Omni has that Agnes. I can't remember what Omni's other. I was too startled by like the mood and the grade to remember what they're like actually running. Like
yeah. I think Omnisight's team is Gold Chip, McQueen, and Tachyon right
okay.
now. So we have a couple McQueens, one of them taking that front running position, and of course the other hanging out with this Pace Chaser. Quite a few in this pack as well. So we got a couple of Rice Showers, McQueen, and then 2 Agnes Tachyons, but pretty early debuff going on into this. I feel like we haven't seen a lot of those before the last spurt in previous races.
Y'all cheering for Haru in chat are on that max copium at a level that I...
It's so good.
Salute.
They get it, man. They understand why we're out here on the racetrack on fine, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And she's rushed too. No.
Feels bad, man. Feels good for everybody else. As they proc that swinging maestro, again, a standard of what you're going to be expecting to see for a lot of these racers. Ooh, okay. Getting some ults that are procced here. That Agnes Tachyon on both Layla and Omniside side may come into play here. Majuro still starting out front. Reichshire not falling too far behind within that second place slot, but this is where things can all come and switch up at a moment's notice as we're getting to the 2/3 part of the race, the final stretch. Last corner, last straightaway coming right up.
Yeah, it's scary. We're seeing at the front, like you mentioned, right? Vajra McQueen taking that first place, but Rice Shower right behind, trying to figure out when to make her move. I mean, it's just like the Spring Tenno show all over again. Season 2, bros, where are you at? But Agnes Tachyon, Rice Shower chilling out in the middle there. Gold Chip, special week as well. And one of the other major McQueens kind of taking that, much further back in the pack position.
Oh my gosh, all these ults are proccing. Make a move. Do you understand? It's all in your head. Gold Chip coming right between the back here. Trying to catch to that Metro, but the front racing strategy has been phenomenal. Velocity ups. Can anyone catch her at this point? Gold Chip trying her best, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Ooh. Didn't have the distance in that last spurt, didn't have the acceleration to catch up Major McQueen, and we gotta check whose that is, because we had a couple of those in this race, but keeping that first place from start to finish as soon as we were out the gate. Omnisight's Major McQueen making it in 8th place, but that means Michael CS is going to be bringing tea time to the G2, that's semi-finals.
Michael CS making it happen, and with that Mejiro just was able to, Keen wasn't supposed to be like a front runner, but ended up playing like a front runner regardless, just based off the great pace strats. And really just phenomenal showing there. Kind of like the first race that I feel like we've seen on stream that has gone this way, where somebody was like in the lead the entire time and maintained that lead for the entirety of the race.
We've been seeing hype moments in Aura in the previous races, right? Where it's like, oh, it would be so much more fun to see them take it in the final spurt, right? Just save up their energy and then swap up the positions entirely. But damn, that A rank Major McQueen, like you said, the greatest stayer there ever was, maintaining that first place from start to finish and securing that spot over there in the semifinals. There we go.
There it is. All right. I mean, with that, I think we got to be close to being able to run some semifinals matches, if not able to run some semifinals matches. I'm going to check out the bracket right here, right now. And, oh, wow, no, there's some semis that are ready to go. And from here on out, chat, everything is streamed. So we have like our final 9. We'll be doing these 3. And then, of course, we will have the G1 finals ready to go based off who wins these next 3 races. So this is the nitty gritty. These are the 9 trainers who have survived pools, survived G3, are in the G2 phase. Things are getting sweaty over here, Jaisu.
Yeah, like you said, it's, FGC, we have top 8. Uma 3v3s, we got top 9. And in that top 9, we're still waiting on one last slot. But otherwise, we have Maid Jumpy, Black Jet, and Sora. And we got Maya Aryut, Ravi Dog, and Scarlet Skill. And then in that final group, semifinals number 3, it's Marune, Hubby-kun, and the winner of Group H. Oh, wait, that's Michael CS. That's pulling up. We have our top 9. Okay.
Absolutely.
We're going to get these gamers into the room as soon as we figure out where they're going to be headed. Again, we got to, spin the wheel, spin the Spinoy week to figure out what distance we're going to be running for this first semifinals.
There it is. Yeah, what's one of the positives about us getting down to this top 9 here? You'll notice as we transition to the bracket, we can clearly kind of see exactly what we're working with here, right? So it's just like the next 3 winners of these next 3 races are going to be going into the final. So we'll be starting out with May, Jumpy, Blackjet, Sorara. We will run those next 2 matches on stream, so if you see your buddies over there, don't worry, you'll be able to cheer for them shortly. But for now, where will May, Jumpy, Blackjet, and Sorara be headed? Only the Spinoy will can decide. Here we go. 2,500?
Oh, it was just barely on the border, but it is the Nakayama race course for the 2,500, our shortest long distance race that we've had so far on stream.
Indeed, I think it's about the shortest that you can get for a long distance qualifier at all. So this will be quite a change of pace, especially no pun intended. Especially given that like we've been seeing a lot of. There's been a couple of races that have happened on stream that have just been like, dude, like if there's just a couple meters longer, I think she could have overtaken that lead. It's just like you have less time to spare, less time for those skills to proc. You're gonna have to account for that 2,500 distance. So let's get these gamers in here. I'm gonna make the room right now.
Yeah, so like we mentioned, first up is going to be May Jumpy, Blackjet, and Sora. May Jumpy, I did not expect her to latch onto this game as like much as she has. She has been grinding it out. Apparently been giving some advice to the fellow Uma Global gamers. I just saw a, you know, they had like a, what was it, a flowchart, basically, a visual coding-esque flowchart of how you're supposed to be like thinking of sparks, because you know, the meme is like, oh man, 2% for a 3-star on the stat that I'm actually training. But for a lot of folks, that's not like super intuitive. So to kind of see it visually, okay, you have a 1 in 5 chance of any particular skill. And then depending on how high you got that skill, it's different chances of getting 1, 2, or 3-star. When I saw it, I was like, I see. I understand. I get it now, how hard the spark grind really is.
That's cool to hear that May Jumpy has been helping people with like visual aids and like coaching and things of that sort. When I first got on this game, I thought I was going to be the worst trainer that the Umamusume world has ever seen, because it was all bad, right? Like I couldn't get anything above like a C in my career runs. I didn't even really
Same.
Let me be completely transparent with what was happening with my runs, okay? So I was told that if I were going to play this game, I need to get an account that's going to either have the fine motion or the super creek, right? And I was told how easy it is to reroll. So I spent like a day and a half rerolling until I got an account that I was comfortable with, right? I feel like a lot of people were in that rabbit hole. The thing about me, though, is like, I didn't learn how to actually play the game. For me, for the first day and a half, free rolling was the game. And I was like, this is kind of fun. And then like I actually got the account that I wanted. I went into Korea and I was like, wait, how the hell you play this? Like
That's what I'm saying, man. It's the tutorial, you know, does show you everything that or it shows you a good amount of stuff that you need to know. But like to understand the game flow at like making the decisions, it's not something that makes sense until you've done like a couple runs and you're like, oh, okay, my horse is kind of, you know, sputtering out in the last stretch. I need to build up more stamina. Oh, my horse isn't proccing any of their skills. I should actually use some more wit, right? And then get some more energy instead of wasting turns on resting. But these are things you kind of got to just learn from experience, because even just looking at the starting menu of Umamusume, man, there's so many damn buttons. There's a lot of decisions to be made. And when it's your first day out here on the job and you spend 36 hours looking for SSR fine motion and Super Creek, it's like, it's a lot.
Yeah, I was in the gulag, and so like my career runs are trash. And then I made a tweet. I was like, "Yo, why can't I hire a Metafy coach for Umamusume? Like, I got hired for like every game. I need a Metafy coach for this game at this point because it's bleak out here."
Yep. Is difficult, man. Thankfully, I've been seeing even more like YouTube content, even people doing like threads and guides on Twitter. So it's cool to see with Uma Global coming out. You know, it's getting even more accessible to a lot of folks who are like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna, you know, try and be #1 on Teen Trials leaderboards, but you know, I like this character, I like this horse, I would like to get better at this game, right? As a roguelite that has some very cool characters and very cool stories. So, you know, you guys can check those out. I'm sure you'll be able to find them if you ask around or look.
Indeed. Well, I've gotten the thumbs up. I see all of these races. I think they're all A ranks besides a Matakani Fukikitaru with the B+ rank. So, much to be expected as we get towards the end here. These are truly the gamers that are coming out and showing out. We see the full spread of what we have going on here between May Jumpy, Blackjet, and Sawada.
let's see. I'm writing it down on my end just to make sure I don't lose track. There we go. So it's Special Week, Machikane Fuku Kitaru, and Rice Shower for Made Jumpy. Oguri Cap, Major Orion, and Grass Wonder for Black Jet. And for Sawara, it's Simbali Rudolph, Major McQueen, and Necha. So we got a couple potential debuffers here going on. Machikane Fuku Kitaru, we've only seen her in one other race. So Jumpy bringing her out, brings a tear to my eye and, some pleasure, some joy to my heart. And Special Week, of course, my goat as well. But of course, we see a lot of Oguri Cap, we see a lot of Major McQueen as well. So some strong contenders from Black Jet and Sawara.
Indeed, indeed. And what's really cool about like this tournament, like I tried it my best to make sure that between pools and round 2, we're getting different people, right? It's not until we're getting towards the end that we have like some repeat matches. So Black Jet, we saw on stream before, we're familiar with their strategy, right? They have 3 strong horses, but really the ace of the team, it's really kind of centered around that Oguri Cap. For Made Jumpy and Sawada, we have a little bit less knowledge of what they're going to be coming to the table with, but we know that it's something strong to made it this far.
Exactly. You made it into that semifinals, that top 9, as we kind of take up our starting positions. Once again, that Major McQueen taking up the front runner spot. All right, Iron Will. I've been told this skill is actually pretty difficult to proc. So, early start, but it's only the first, 500 meters of the race. We still got so much to go. Haru Urara feeling a little rushed, but Major McQueen taking up that front runner position right behind the pace chasers. Oh, we're getting debuffed here over in the side, but it's Oguri Cap, Rice Shower, Simbali Rudolph, Special Week, and over in the back we can see Major Orion, Grass Wonder, and a couple other Umas I can't see off screen.
Right, yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be panning over shortly here. Yeah, so we have the that Majiro. It panned over immediately, so I got cooked. But yeah, nice nature, Grass Wonder, Machikane.
Nice nature, Grass Wonder, yeah. Machikane Fuku Gitaru and Haru Urara holding up the back. And as we go around this big bend, we're going to be seeing quite a few swinging maestros.
As expected. Okay. Recover that endurance, ready to go as we get past the halfway point. We just came off the heels of seeing a Majiro being able to hold on to that lead for the entire race. Granted, it was a little bit less of a challenge as we see Simbali Rudolph coming up on the side here. It looks like she will pass the endurance restored, that she's going to be able to take the lead.
Ooh. Yeah, scary as we're right behind that final spurt. So Major McQueen, she was so far ahead earlier on, but as we're pumping up the acceleration here, Simbali Rudolph takes that first place spot, and Rice Shower right next to Major McQueen. Of course, we're going into the last spurt, so acceleration is the name of the game this final corner in that last straightaway.
Jeez, Major McQueen going from Kachow to Kablam as she's kind of falling short here. Rice Shower, Oguri Cap lining out, Simbali Rudolph at the lead. Who's going to be able to take it? I feel like this is a hard one to really call. We're going to get some of those late skills procced right here, right now. Simbali has that lead, a couple meters left.
Yeah, Sawara Simbali Rudolph is just so far ahead, 5-6 lengths ahead of Oguri Cap. Black Jet's ace is not able to accelerate in time to make up the distance. Sawara making it into the final round.
Sawara able to make it happen. That Simbali Rudolph pulling the trigger right at the perfect time. Excuse me, that's not an A rank horse. That's an A+ rank horse. The pedigree is insane.
I've never seen an A+ rank so far. Holy, that's crazy.
That's a gamer, if I do say so myself. A lot of the things that we would expect swinging Maestro Gorman. The SS plus speed, because I got it like that with the pace S on the side, long S, and the career info. Look at all the limit break support cards, bruh.
Holy.
Okay. Actually, they're not all MLB, okay? I'll have you know the first one.
Right.
It's just a singular LB. It's just the rest of them are MLB, you know?
Holy. Okay, it is actually crazy we haven't seen this gamer up yet, but like you said, right, we had to save this one for the grand finals qualifiers. All MLBs aside from a couple copies of Biko Pegasus. That Simbali Rudolph was set up for success, man. That's generational wealth.
Yes, we shall see Sawada in the finals in the G1 category, but well played from Black Jet and Jumpy as well. They were putting on a good fight there. Sawada is the one that advances, as we're going to be running the rest of these semifinals matches for y'all.
Yeah, again, they made it into that top 9. It's a little confusing, right? Because all the players have their own 3 Umas. So technically, we're in the top 27 Umamusume, but top 9 trainers, as a couple of them have been knocked out here, and a lot of these, or all of these semifinals are going to be streamed. So we've got our first finalist for that grand finals in Sawara. Yeah, that Simbali Rudolph was set up for success. I gotta tell you, that's mandate of heaven type stuff right there as we head into our next match.
Indeed, and the next one will be Maya Urut, Rabbit Dog, and Scarlet Skill.
Ooh, okay. I don't know if we've seen any of these gamers on stream just yet. I know Scarlet Skill we've seen in chat, but I forget if we saw them in a previous race. But Maya and Ravi Dog, I'm pretty sure we have not gotten to see yet. So again, I'm excited to, you know, observe these team compositions.
Indeed, indeed. We're going to head over to the Spinoy wheel to see where they will be headed. I love Scarlet Skill's tag, the Zoomy Zoomers. That has a nice ring to it.
Zoomy Zoomers is crazy, man. I feel like your Oshi's got to be like Daitaku Helios. It's got to be Diplos, and I'm thinking of one more, but I can't off the top of my head. It's not just Gyarus. It's specifically Zoomers. There's got to be one more horse I'm thinking of. I'll update you guys later. Let's spin the wheel.
Yeah. The play on works too, right? They're gonna be zooming through the bracket, you know, zooming to the finish line. But maybe in an increased distance here for that zoom out, so it will be Tokyo 3400. We're back to some of those long distances coming to the table here.
Yeah, so we started off really strong with the longest distance race on the Nakayama turf that you could have at 3,600. We had a few others that were in that 3K range and then brought it down to kind of these mid 2Ks. But now we are back, the second longest distance in the game for our second semifinals as we wait for Maya, Ravi Dog, and Scarlet Skill to make their way on into the room.
Yeah, it's funny how things have shaped out. We initially had all these long distance races, and I was just like, man, I would love to see some of these shorter distances, to see some of the different strategies. Now we had so many of those in a row. Yeah. It's refreshing to see one of these long distance races coming back in the, to the table here. So, yeah, this will be you know, an initial reaction for the both of us, because again, we haven't seen either of these gamers on stream quite yet. Interested to see what they'll be rolling out here.
Yeah, it should be fun. And again, as we head into these much longer distances, again, the stamina check just gets so much higher. Even within the distances between long, right? You could be 2,500 meters or you could be 3,600. So depending on what you're optimized for, what you're trained for, and how many Umas you kind of have in the reserves here to try and survive in this long distance bracket, we shall see. Is your Uma going to stay strong up until that last spurt, or are they going to run out of energy before they can show their best?
Like I said earlier, Jasu, I mean, of course, the stamina will be important. Of course, all those categories will be important. But that Secret 6 category, the power of love, it really was going to have to shine through at this point, through and through. We do see some of these gamers joining up. Maya Urut with the TM Opera, Oguri Cap, and the Gold Ship. All of that B+ rank. Ravid Dog has the Daiwa Scarlet, Oguri Cap as well. And Maya on the Top Gun. I wonder if it's going to be that front runner strategy that we've seen earlier from Peeps.
Yeah, let's see. We haven't seen a Top Gun in quite some time. We had a couple in a previous race, but pulling back up here, a medium/long racer in her own accord. But I wonder if she's going to have enough stamina to try and stay alive here. But it looks like all of our gamers are ready in the chat. Let's see it.
Indeed, indeed. Giving them a final check in just in case. Got the yes, got the reactions. Let's get it started here.
Let's do it.
How do you get the title of the GOAT? I want that. Like,
you can. So if you guys don't know, GameTora.com is like an incredible resource for Umamusume. Let me see if I can find that actually, because I know they also have the conditions for all of the titles as well. I forget what the GOAT is. It's 75% win rate and a certain amount of fans and 7 G1 wins.
Sheesh.
Holy.
I see.
Holy.
That explains why I've never seen that before. I've never come close, but we have a couple of GOATs within this race here. Of course, the TM Opera, as I was defining earlier. Number one fave is that Oguri Cap coming out of Ravid Dog. And a decent spread. A couple of overlap, right, between the Oguri Cap, and I think there's a couple of gold chips as well. So we'll see how that affects the race.
Wait, I see Scarlet in our race, but it was from Ravi Dog, right? Scarlet Skill isn't running Daiwa Scarlet? What the hell?
Mixed.
I'm getting owned.
There was 2 people in the bracket named Rice Shower. Like, there was somebody named Rice Shower and someone named Rice Shower Lunar. And I'm actually sad that neither of them popped up on stream, because I was definitely going to gaslight them if neither of them ran Rice Shower. It's just like...
That's what I'm saying, man. They just be putting any character and then not repping them. I can't believe it. But we're headed on over to the Tokyo turf. It's a 3,400 meter race for our second semifinals. Once again, we got Maya Urut, Ravi Dog, and Scarlet Skill pulling up.
Here we go. All All right, a lot of people staying within the pack. It is that Majora McQueen starting out strong here. Of course, Mayano Top Gun, also no stranger to these front-running strategies. Haven't seen it come to full fruition yet, but the distance, the gap between that Majora, maybe the breath of fresh air can help her catch up in these early sequences.
Yeah, quite the front-runner start coming out here, and like you said, catching up and then some, taking a little bit further of a position, but neck and neck here with Majora McQueen in the front, in that pace chasers side. Honestly, I don't even know if we have any pace chasers with the big distance that we got in between them, but Ogre Cap, Daiwa Scarlet, Gold Ship, bringing up the rear as well, another Ogre Cap, waiting in the wings.
Yeah, I want to cheer for her so bad, because I mean, like, Mayano Top Gun is probably one of my top 10 favorite horses. I love her so much, but I don't know. We just seen the dominance of some of these like late and pace strategies, and they don't really show, like, rear their ugly head, just kind of engulfing the race until like some of those latter sequences. So
exactly,
here she is.
The race, and Gold Ship just chilling in the back, but even further in the back, Haru Urara again. Just taking a far distance to make sure all the races are okay. They're happy. They're having a good time on the racetrack here.
All right, it's still looking good for the Mayano, honestly, getting ahead of that Majuro as she was really struggling for that within the early game race. We do see Swinging Maestros coming to the table for pretty much all the horses at this point. Almost like an outline standard if you're looking to really go the distance.
Exactly. It's just such a good stamina card. A lot of folks have MLB, SSR Super Creek, so it's just something we're going to be seeing a lot, especially for these long distance races where you really need to make sure you have that stamina right and ready. So we're about to go into that final corner, that last straightaway. Mayano Top Gun still in first place. Majora McQueen right behind, down in the middle of the pack. Agnes Tachyon, Daiwa Scarlet, Ogre Cap, Gold Chip, Ogre Cap, TM Opera O, and bringing up the rear, of course, one more Gold Chip, that 3-star outfit unlock, just waiting in the wings for the time to strike.
Yeah, no big shakeup on placements, but you can see the pack condensing quite a bit here. That big lead that Mayano Top Gun and Majora McQueen had to begin with is now tightening up by quite a bit, where it could be anyone's game. Of course, front-running strategies, they're not really going to have much that procs, whereas the power level really kind of backloaded for some of these horses. As you see that Daiwa Scarlet and that Agnes Tachyon trying to take out the Oguri Cap not far behind, but it's a race for second as Mayano Top Gun still comfortably in the lead.
Yeah, that was a lot of debuffs on the front-running pack there, especially in the pace chasers as well. Everyone but Majora McQueen, but still having such a difficult time catching up to Mayano Top Gun. The velocity increasing, but it's the final spurt. It's all in the acceleration now. Mayano Top Gun still trying to hold on to that first place. Daiwa Scarlet right behind. Majora McQueen coming up in third. Agnes Tachyon and Ogre Cap fighting it out for number 4 as TM Opera O cannot get the acceleration. She's run out of stamina. Mayano Top Gun, Daiwa Scarlet just trying to accelerate. She still has velocity up. Endurance restored as well. She could take it over, but Mayano Top Gun maintains that first place spot, just barely by a nose. That might have been. Wait. I actually can't tell. I want to say it's Mayano Top Gun, but Daiwa Scarlet was neck and neck, nose and nose. We need to see these final results.
Oh my gosh, it was down to the wire, but Mayano Top Gun just narrowly inches ahead. Again, it was one of those sequences. I'd be saying, like, if it was an extra 100 meters, it could have been a difference maker. If it was like an extra 20 meters, that could have been a difference maker. But she barely edged it out. Mayano Top Gun gets the final laugh, the Mayano Top Keck as your Mayano Top tier for this race. Holy smokes.
Wait, it's also insane because if we look a little bit closer, it's 3 goats in first, second, and third. And who owns all of those goats? Who is the trainer responsible? Ravi Dog not only took first, but it's second and third. The clean sweep. He was fighting for his Umas to do their best. It wasn't even about the first place. That was guaranteed from the get-go. Mayano Top Gun securing your spot in Grand Finals.
The game was rigged from the start in Ravid Dog's favor. We were all on the edge of our seats trying to figure out which gamer had their heart broken. Ravid was just up there in the back, all according to Keikaku. You know, it's just as simple as that. As they move on to the top 3 setting. Beautiful stuff.
He said, trainer note, Keikaku means goat, bro. It was too clean. Like, obviously, very well done to Maya and Scarlet Skill making it over to these semifinals, but you are going to be out in that top 9 place. Well played, gamers, as we head into our final semifinals to see who is taking that last spot in Grands, our G1 race, our URA finale finals. We got Marune or Maroon, we got Michael CS17, and we got Hubby Kun pulling up.
Yeah, gonna be see who's joining Sawada and Rabbit Dog in the G1 finals coming up here. And Michael CS, we saw just a few races ago, right? Hubby-kun and Marune, we have not seen come to fruition, so we'll be showcasing some new strategies, exactly how they were able to get to this point. It's always cool seeing some of the different things that people bring to the table. My own Top Gun, as we were mentioning right before we did that race, we've seen a couple people try to run it, but it hasn't really fully paid off. These front running strategies still having some presence within the late game of this tournament.
Yeah, and we saw a bunch of those front runners like getting debuffed and still able to pull ahead. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's stat diff. I don't know if it's support card diff. Maybe the concentration of dolphins and whales just gets a little bit deeper as we head into this grand finals. But we still got 3 more gamers to fight for that final grand finals spot. But we got to spin the wheel first to see where they're headed. Special week, let us know where we're headed.
Nakayama, 36 or 25 on it. Oh, I think it's a 25er.
Okay. Nakayama race course, 2,500 meters. I gotta say, the special week portion of that wheel is really funny because it's a bunch of 2,600s like next to each other. The Jatsu portion of that wheel is evil because it's a 3,600 next to like a 25, and then another 3,600. That's the evil side.
True, just no synergy at all. Just like true gambling, really dice rolling for your life on that Jatsu side. But
it's true.
Here we go, Nakayama 2,500. Let me get these gamers set up over here. G-Rank Haru holding it down. Let's get some love in the chat for the G-Rank Haru who's been delivering all this action. I'm purely just a streamer. She's the real MVP. Again, without her, none of this is possible, so.
I was streaming a Haru Urara run in Discord VC at one point to someone who had like not played any Uma Global, but they're like, okay, let me check it out. Like, we're just hanging in VC. I'll boot up the stream. He sees Haru Urara in like her career mode, and he's like, why is she hitting the gritty? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, man? I look over and Haru Urara is just doing this. I'm like, you cannot associate those two things in my brain, man. Like, what are you? I'm gonna pretend you didn't say this. I'm gonna like roll it back in my brain, and we're just gonna pretend it never happened. It's crazy. But she is holding up that 10th place spot to make sure you guys can see the last of our, Umamusume Uma Global PvP action. We got this final semifinals, and of course, our last 3 heading up right after this.
Absolutely, yeah. So the gamers are joining, getting their stuff together. Got to make sure that we have their name tags updated here as well. So it is Hubby-kun and Michael CS joining us yet again.
Okay, so Marune and Hubby-kun we haven't gotten to see yet. So Hubby, it looks like we have Simply Rudolph, Mayano Top Gun, and we'll see who else we got waiting in the wings.
Machikane.
My goat.
There she is. There she is. Ooh, Marune running an interesting trio here. So we see the Nice Nature, Gold Ship, and Tokai Teo on the side here. So I feel like those are 3 horses that we've seen kind of spread throughout every here and there, but not utilized quite together. Tokai Teo and Nice Nature being a little bit more on the rare side.
Yeah. Tokai Teo, I think we might have seen one earlier, but that was about it. Kind of, drowning in the pool side earlier. But, it's just like the Ari Makina, man. She's had a big break, and now she's trying to qualify for that first place spot. I get it. And Nature, we've kind of been seeing in this debuff slot a lot of times. We've seen a couple, ace natures from time to time, but definitely a lot more common as, putting out the debuffs on the course here.
Here it is. I'm going to get a final confirmation of these gamers. They've locked in their horses. Make sure we have no mistakes as we are gearing up for the final qualifier. Who is going to join the G1 finals? Sawada, Rabbit Dog already ready to go. One of these 3 will be joining them in the races. I got the check marks. Let's get this show on the road.
Let's do it. Booting up. And there is no Uma below like B+ here. They are all just, they're ready for the races. That's what you got to be to make it this far, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what it comes down to, getting those career runs solidified, having the support cards, having the proper sparks, just all of that good stuff. And people have been prepping for this. I mean, a lot of people that have been talking to me about like this bracket, they're just like, dude, you just completely like sidetracked what I initially had planned. You announced this bracket, now I've just been only training, horses for this event. So people get prepared.
Exactly. It's like they're not doing their event missions anymore. They're not training Sparks for their Oshi. They're like, all right, I need a long distance runner or else, man. I gotta lock in. All right, so it looks like on Marune's side, we have Nice Nature, Gold Chip, and Tokai Teo. Michael CS once again pulling up with the Grass Wonder, Rice Shower, and Majuro McQueen. And Hubby-kun bringing it through with the Simbali Rudolph, Machikane Fukukitaru, and Mayano Top Gun.
Sounds good to me. Let's get straight to it here. Oh boy, will it be another Mayano top keg with that top finish of what we saw previously? But I mean, there's so many others that we've seen within this spread of horses here that have won before, right? Tokai Teo has been victorious. Simbali Rudolph has been victorious. Major to McQueen, like, no shortage of good strategies here.
We're just going to gloss over Mayano Top Deck, man. That's insane. that one did, like, psych damage to me, but not psych damage to her. The acceleration up immediately out of the gates. These early skill procs pulling up to solidify our front runner position.
Here it is. Yeah, she's sitting pretty up in the front, but that's as expected given the strategy that she opts for. Some endurance reduced in the back there. A bunch of pace chasers and late runners. Stick to the pack.
Yep. Just chilling out here the early parts of the race, just getting a few stamina skill procs. Once again, Mayano Top Gun in front, bringing up the pace chasers. We got Tokai Teo, Majuro McQueen, Simbali Rudolph, Rice Shower, and in the back, waiting for their opportunity to strike Grass Wonder, Gold Chip, Nature, and of course that Urara in the back.
All right, here it goes. Breath of fresh air. Mayano Top Gun holding strong for now as we're nearing the halfway point. Majuro trying to stay close, stay within reach, as the pack is kind of disassembling just a bit.
Yeah, Machikane Fukukitaru really taking that end closer position here. But Gold Chip, Nice Nature, Grass Wonder, just chilling, waiting for their opportunity to strike as the late surgers. But like you're saying, right, it's starting to condense as we hit the halfway point here. All right, Grass Wonder trying to take position for that final spurt.
Majuro passes Mayano Top Gun on the front end.
Ooh. All right, falling behind a little bit, but again, it's all about that last straightaway acceleration. The pack really bunching up here. It's going to be difficult for some of those in the back to really try and break out. I hope you got the power to, make your way out of the block.
Yeah, it seems like that is the case. I'm seeing a lot of skills proc as we near that final corner. Gold Chip, I noticed that she popped her ult a bit ago. I had an eye on it. It looks like it was within good reason. She is booted up from basically 8th to 2nd at this point.
Ooh. There we go, the Machikane Fukukitaru. We got some debuffs pulling up here for the front runners. Speed Star as Hubby-kun tries to make his way over with the Simbali Rudolph, but Major McQueen, decent distance, but still a little bit scary. Can Simbali Rudolph accelerate fast enough? Gold Chip coming up on the outside, velocity up. Simbali Rudolph takes first place.
Just like that, the ult proc right at the end in order to make it happen. Simbali Rudolph was able to get the job done, and that's a Simbali Rudolph courtesy of Hubby, who squeaks out right at the end there when it matters most, getting the neck finish over Marune, gonna be headed into the G1 finals.
Oh my god, just barely a distance of 10 or 20 meters could have been the difference there, right? Marune had such a solid acceleration with Gold Chip coming in from the outside on that final corner, but I don't know, maybe it was the debuffs coming out from Hubby-kun's Fukukitaru. I know the vision is kind of hit and miss, whether it actually changes up the results of the race, but Simbali Rudolph, man, I mean, she was built for this. She was built for the finals. That's Kaicho, that's class president, Miss Triple Crown. Oh my god, this Fukukitaru has so many damn debuffs, bro.
On this damn Fukukitaru, oh my god.
This is vile. That is nasty work, bro. You gotta leave this Fukukitaru at home.
Yo, she's here for one reason and one reason only: chaos. Like,
she's there for destruction, man. She's there to be the bad luck that you worry about when you're heading into semi-finals day. But good fortune smiles upon Hubby-kun with his team of Simbali Rudolph, Fukukitaru, and Mayano Top Gun. He is our last finalist for our G1 finals, our URA finals, to try and take it home. Our last three, we got Sawara, Ravi Dog, and Hubby-kun fighting it out for that first place.
Absolutely. 81 trainers walked in today with high hopes and 3 horses that they put all of their time and effort into, and it is 3 trainers that have walked out here into the G1 finals. 9 Umas will be represented. We just got to figure out the track. Sawara, Ravi Dog, and Hubby-kun. The question is, where will we end here? What track will it be? Long or short? 2600, 3600, Nakayama, Tokyo, Kyoto? Who knows? As you get one last spin of the Spinoi wheel. Take it away.
All right, special week where are we headed for our final race?
Sapporo 2600?
Ooh.
The will is spoken.
There we go. It almost ended like perfectly upright on the image too. I mean, it's just, it's the fortune. It's cinema for our final race here. So many 3,000 plus races, especially to start things out. We've been kind of jumping back and forth on this stream, but bringing it back down to 2,600 meters for our final race. So we've seen Sawara tearing it up. We've seen Rabidog staying alive, and Hubby-kun just barely making it into finals by a nose here, or a neck. I think it was a neck. I gotta give credit where it's due. Let's see if that Simply Rudolph is going to be able to stay alive against some absolute killers.
Here it is. Gonna get these gamers into the lobby right here, right now. Oh, hold on here. There we go. Make sure I copy the code. Ooh, this is tense. One of these gamers are the ones who had the Mayano to finish first, right? Was that Sawara or Rabidog?
Oh, wait, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, one of them had the Mayano Top Gun that like stayed from first place from start to finish, which is a strategy we had not seen successful until very later on. I think it's Rabidog, because I want to say Sawara is the one that we saw with the juiced up Simply Rudolph, which means we should be seeing 2 Mayano Top Guns. We should be seeing 2 Rudolphs. We got to see the rest of the team comp here.
Looking like you have a top tier memory here as Hubby does join. They have the Mayano Top Gun, have the Simply Rudolph with that devious, completely devious Matikane Fukikitaru in the back line here. Like,
we scrolled through those debuffs and I was like, no, this gotta go, man. This gotta be like outlawed by the Geneva Convention. Apparently in JP, like the more recent PvPs, they're actually like trying it out and banning debuffs and seeing how things work out, but that's not gonna be for a while for us global folks. So you guys gotta live with you know, debuff nature and debuff Fukikitaru for quite a little bit.
There it is. It is Rabidog, who had that Mayano Top Gun, who did just phenomenally in that previous race, able to win with the front-running strategy. Now, my question is, like, does Matikane have... Yeah, there's, like, debuffs for literally everything. So, like, no matter what distance, right, what's, like, you know, strategy that you're running here, that Matikane, if it procs, you're cooked. Like...
Yeah. There's one for front runners, there's one for pace chasers, there's one for end closers, and then illusionist I think is just for like any long race. So you are not safe from this horse, man. I don't know. Hubby-kun got a sniper in the back.
Indeed. All right, chat. This is it. We've been building up to this. Based off the results of this race, somebody will be your Horse Reaction Cup champion. Not only that, they will be added to the Matcherino page where they will be walking out with what is at least $1,000, or sorry, $100.
I was gonna say, I was like, wait, what?
Excuse me, $100, $100. Okay. I was getting mixed up with the distances. It's all in the thousands. My mind had it subconsciously transferred yet. It's $102.50 to be exact. All the codes have been claimed, so we thank you for that. If you're feeling generous for whatever reason, you want to contribute to a future Maximum Break Kita-san Black, I'm sure it'll be spent on. You could do a direct contribution to that match, Reno, if you'd like. But I think we should get straight into it. All the gamers have given me that checkmark confirmation. I'm ready. I know you're ready, J2. Let's get it on and popping.
Let's do it. All right. We're queuing up here as we head into our final match. Once again, it's going to be Sawara, Rabidog, and Hubby-kun making it to this final. It's URA finale finals, man. This one's for all the cash in the Matcherino. That $100, I mean, it could go to Kita-san Black. It could go to trying to roll your Oshi. I don't know who these guys are trying to roll as we head on into things, but our final match is ready to go.
Indeed, indeed. Give the names updated here as we... Moving along. I was too excited, y'all. I'm sorry. I was just like, wait a minute. Here we go.
That we catch it now so that you're not just seeing like, oh, Hubby-kun for the overlay. We got to make sure these gamers get their shine for this final match.
Yes, and of course, we already know the vibes with this Matikane. I'm not going to bring it up again, but
yep.
Mayano Top Gun, Manjiro McQueen, going with some of those front and pace strategies. A lot of front and pace that we see on the loadout from pretty much everybody. It's going to be Sawada that's mostly committed to those late strategies here with the Symboli and the Nice Nature.
Yeah, let's see it. So we have a couple debuffers from Sawara and Hubby-kun. Rabbydog pulling it up with Mayano Top Gun, Daiwa Scarlet, and Ogre Cap. So I actually don't know if we have a dedicated debuffer here, or we're just kind of 3 Umas that all of their, different strategies, and we're trying to see what works out best depending on our opponent's team comps.
Yes, absolutely. 2 Mayanos, 2 Zimbolis, a little bit of overlap is something that we expected as we get into these, just the event overall. But interesting to see that this is what it has shaped out here. Personally, I expect to see a lot more Ogre Cap, but we're just seeing what is shaping out here at the end of the day. Ogre Cap is the #1 fave, the favorite for this race, but that's purely just a number at the end of the day. It really comes down to how these Umas end up performing when the lights are bright and the turf is set. As we have a Horse Reaction Cup Grand Finals coming right up.
Heading on into it. It's the Sapporo turf. It's a beautiful 2,600 meters for our final match. Sawara with Simply Rudolph, Nice Nature, and Major McQueen. Rabbydog with Mayano Top Gun, Daiwa Scarlet, and Ogre Cap, and Hubby-kun come in through with Simply Rudolph, Machikane Fuku Kitaru, and Mayano Top Gun. 9 horses, 1 observer in the Haru Urara, but only 1 winner in our final race.
Yeah, I almost feel like, I don't know, I feel the pressure. I gotta let the intros rock for this one. How are we waving to the camera?
I know, I'm stressed too.
Here it is.
Let's do it.
And we're off. A lot of front-running strategists within this race that we saw from the preview. So it'll be interesting to see who takes out first. We do see the Mayano Top Guns setting the tone first and foremost.
Couple of those in the front. Early debuff going on, but I mean, again, it's that first early straightaway, so shouldn't be too bad as far as positioning goes. But the first 2 Mayano Top Guns are up here in the front running position. Daiwa Scarlet, Major McQueen, Simply Rudolph, Ogre Cap taking up the middle, and of course a few folks off screen. I know that Machikane Fuku Kitaru is scheming up something devious behind there.
Oh yeah, it's just like, that's purely what she's there for. B plus sees all these A ranks. I'm here for one reason and one reason only. Watch a step, player. Like, that's really all it's all about.
Dude, the one Simply Rudolph that's like chilling in the late closer area with the double debuffers, she's like, wait, I don't know if I want to be here, man. There's a devious energy in the back of the pack. All right, both the Mayano Top Gun still holding strong. It's the procs of the Swinging Maestro as we come around this halfway mark of the corners. Machikane Fuku Kitaru, Nice Nature, Simply Rudolph still holding up the back. Haru Urara doing her best on the turf.
As she does. All right. So yeah, pretty much the same placements that have been throughout the entirety of the race, of course. As we get to the end, that's where we'll see some of those skills proc. But again, there's been quite a few front runners within this one. Those Mayano Top Guns holding strong as the pack is condensing just a bit. We see Major McQueen rising from the mid here. Daiwa Scarlet passing one of those Top Guns.
Ooh. There we go. The pack condensing a little bit. Major McQueen trying to make her move, but again, that velocity down, maybe stopping the approach a little bit. The 2 Mayano Top Guns are still in the front. All the ults popping as we come around to this final straightaway. That last corner, Major McQueen overtaking Mayano Top Gun now, and it's seeming like quite the lead, but Simply Rudolph, Ogre Cap right behind. Daiwa Scarlet trying to make a name for herself, but clearly so blocked in on the inside. It's going to be difficult to try and overcome the lead. Major McQueen, Ogre Cap tries to accelerate, but there's not enough time. Still coming up right behind. Major McQueen takes it for Sawara. You're a winner of the Live Horse Reaction Cup.
Kerchow, life is a highway, gonna be able to ride it all night long. Sawara is your Horse Reaction Cup champion. Major McQueen coming in clutch. Of course, all 3 of the aces here from Rabbydog and Hubby finishing close, not too far behind. It really could have been anyone's race, but Sawara is the one who was able to reign supreme. Interestingly enough, a pretty attainable Majiro in terms of like there's no like S ranks within like the distance and styles. Pretty yeah, borrowed the max limit break super creep, but not even like limit breaks on one of the speeds that we had on that Bakushin over there. So solid stuff. It is big congratulations to Sawara, who's going to be walking away as your Horse Reaction Cup champion.
God's strongest stayer, man. I mean, we had some of those MLBs ready. We were thinking, especially going into it, right? We saw Sawara with a really souped up Simply Rudolph, which we were thinking was probably going to be fighting out for that first place. But the Simply Rudolph we saw in that top 3, again, barely even a, full horse length distance between first, second, and third here. Ogre Cap just barely behind from Rabbydog. Simply Rudolph from Hubby-kun as well, fighting it out, but that is going to be them tied for number 2 here as we find our first champion of live horse reaction. Sawara gets a little bit more pocket change to try and make sure they secure that SSR Kitasan Black.
Indeed, indeed. What a fun time this was. Thank you all so much to all 107 of you in chat watching for the Horse Reaction Cup, whether you're a participant, a spectator, or a fan, all of the above. I really appreciate the support here. We all do here at PlusFramesGG. This has been a blast. And yeah, I mean, I really don't know what to say. Jason, thank you so much for commentating with us as well. It's good to have you here. First Umamusume commentary gig for me, and I got to say I had so much fun. Like,
it's true. I mean, so, a little backstory for you guys. PlusFramesGG had me heading over to California earlier this year to do Party Dash commentary, which was fun, but I didn't get to hang out with Atkins because he was busy, running the stream, making sure everything was all good. So I was like, one day I'll get the Umamusume commentary with you, with my GOAT. But little did I know it'd be the first ever global Umamusume PvP event over here on beautiful PlusFrames.gg, which if you guys want to stop by and give a follow as well, just to show some support, definitely feel free to. But hanging out on the mic with my GOAT once again, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better. You guys hanging out in the chat, hopefully you had a damn good time, but we're loading up a little something. I saw Leon in the chat earlier asking, so we're going to show the winning live, right, of those top 3, and of course, we can't deny them that justice. Though I do have to check if we have all of those horses ready. We might only have 1 or 2. We'll check.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly how I will set this up because it's an awesome idea. I just want to make sure that it's able to be executed. So
I don't know if we have those characters. So Sawara won with McQueen. I don't know if you have McQueen.
I do have McQueen.
Okay, cool. So we definitely have the number 1. I don't know if we have Simply Rudolph ready, and I don't know if we have Ogre Cap ready as well, because those are also 3 stars. But I think if you at least have Major McQueen, or if you at least have Major McQueen in the first slot, I think everything else is forgivable.
Somebody said roll now.
Roll now is crazy. You guys are addicts.
Is this how as we're getting this set up here, because I'm giving some instruction in the background, do y'all want to know how possible it is for me to roll now? Do y'all want the hard truth? Y'all not ready for the truth, okay?
Oh no.
This is the reality of my circumstances, okay? This is the reality of I can't roll. Even if I wanted to roll, I can't, all right? This is why I am commentating and tournament organizing and not playing with y'all, right? Kitasan Black, I'll just simply borrow, okay? It is what it is.
You said not a saver. That's crazy.
Yo, I need my big head in my life, okay? Can you blame me? Like, to relax.
I can't blame you. You play with your heart. You're not a meta slave. You're a Biwa Hayahide stan, and I respect that. It's okay. We have McQueen though. We do have McQueen, so we can show that part of the winning live at least, and then we'll put in whoever we have for 2nd and 3rd place. That's how it goes in the rough and tumble world of the Umamusume Pretty Derby.
Got it. Okay, I figured it out. All right, so the 3 horses that we need to have. Okay, so in 1st place it was the Mijiro, right?
Yes.
And then who did we have in 2nd and 3rd?
2nd and 3rd were Simply Rudolph and Ogre Cap. So I don't know if you have them, but let's see. For Ravi Dog, you could put in Mayano Top Gun, because that was also on their team. And Hubby-kun, you could put in Machikane Fukukitaru, because that was also on his team as well.
Okay, so if I have a Majiro McQueen,
the best we can do,
and Oguri Cap and a Matikane Fukukitaru, are we gaming?
Yes.
Cool.
I think so. We can probably try and give them the racing outfits or the racing silks. So I think for Major McQueen, that's the 3rd one.
Okay, Major McQueen, 3rd one. All right. I'm getting coached on how to put a concert together. Umamusume.
It's hard out here, man. It's hard out here. I think Ogre Cap, you might have her racing silks. I think that's also the 3rd one.
Okay.
Machikane Fukugitaru. You can go with number 2. I think people are going to be used to number 2.
All right. Is this looking?
That's like the same.
This looking ready?
Outfit. I think that's what we got. I think this is as good as we. Wait, I didn't realize you had Ogre Cap too. All right, we're 2 out of 3. We're like 2.5 out of 3. We got our final winning live here for these gamers who again took 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Well, I guess technically tied for 2nd, but we gotta do one last winning live for Sawara with the Majiro McQueen bringing it up.
All rise for the national anthem.
Life is so good, man. Life is so good when you're me.
Here we go.
I'm so hyped. All right.
07's in chat.
Umamusume legend.
If you don't got your glow sticks, 07 in chat for the salute. Rise up as we stand for your national anthem. Umamusume legend to close us out. Top 3 at the Horse Reaction Cup. We're gaming.
Let's go! All right, congratulations, everyone. Congratulations to Sora, once again, your winner of the first ever live Horse Reaction Cup, to Ravi Dog, Hubby-kun making it to finals, and the rest of our 81 players for showing up today and having a damn good time on our Umamusume PvP action. Hopefully you guys enjoy.
There it is. We are going to be signing off here. Last thing from me, I mean, if you were enjoying all the action that you saw here, there is another Umamusume tournament happening tomorrow. Of course, exclamation point bestie in chat. You can go to start.gg/carrot, show some love and support because a lot of the players showed some support for our event. And yeah, as far as when's the next one of these, I don't know. The hype today was insane. We're going to have to figure out where we're going to be doing another one because I would love to. But yeah, really hope you all enjoyed yourselves. It was a blast. That's going to do it. Take it easy, y'all.
Peace.